advice, you can email our friendly help team. Make sure to get involved and stay up to date with Jewellery Maker.
Do you want to tell everyone about the great purchase you've made from Jewellery Maker? Do you want to shout about the great service you've received? Then why not download the Jewellery Maker's Viewer's Voice app, available for iPhone or Android, and record a video that could be played on Jewellery Maker. Simply search Jewellery Maker Viewer's Voice in the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store and download our Viewer's Voice app straight to your phone or tablet. You can record as many videos as you like and send them straight to us here at Jewellery Maker. All you have to do is then carry on watching us as usual and wait for your video to be played. Download the JM Viewer's Voice app and you could be the next face we see here on Jewellery Maker.
Hello, welcome back. Just because we had that lovely presentation to our lovely cast that's leaving, I didn't get a chance to say thank you to my lovely good friend Claire McDonald for all your wonderful designs today. So thank you.
Thanks.
Everybody's loved the tiaras and your inspirations, and you even got somebody to wire right bride, didn't you?
I know. It's made my day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me.
Thank you.
See
See you later, gorgeous
Bye.
face. Now then, I'll tell you what, we've got a cracking hour coming up for you. Now, a little bit earlier on, let me give you a flash of the peridot, not me, don't panic. Everybody's thinking, hang on a minute, Zane, it's only just gone past midday. This is going to be your star buy of this hour. This is, in 10 minutes' time, a superb, and I tell you what, if you got the jadeite earlier, that would go beautifully with the jadeite. It sparkles, it's sensational, and it's got an incredible, incredible clarity to it. So that's coming in. Okay, now, just to mention today, now if you've been watching this morning, we've had a lot of people, 3 people in particular, Susan, Dawn and Charlene, all are going to be on the business course, the business workshop tomorrow with, and I did suggest that it was going to be our lovely Angela. Now guess who's just breezed into the studio? It's only Angela.
Hello.
I like the straight hair, Angela.
Oh, thank you.
You are rocking it
Thank
today.
You. Well, I just said to Claire, I've got to do whatever I can to keep the ears off.
Well, I tell you what, you look absolutely sensational, gorgeous
you.
face. So I tell you what, if you are watching, Dawn, they were on early this morning, so they might have gone off. But Dawn, Charlene, and Susan, they're prepared because I'm in tomorrow. They're all going to get a big fat hug.
Oh, lovely. I mean, we do have a lot of fun on our business courses. We do.
Yeah.
We have a lot of laughs. People think, oh, it's going to be dry and boring because it's business, but it's not.
No, but you are a bundle of fun, you aren't you?
Oh, well, I do try.
Yeah, you succeed, my darling. So, because isn't that weird though? After everybody saying, coming on Angela's course tomorrow, and here she is. Here she is. Beautiful. Right then. So, and she's going to be here all afternoon till 5 o'clock. Okay.
No.
Are you not?
No. I'm just here for the hour doing the
Oh, sorry.
the education hour.
Oh.
Yeah, and I've got some tips for people who are wanting to start a bridal business in this hour. And then we have I'm not sure who the guest designer is. We'll be here from
Gemma Crow.
1 till 5.
Right, I do apologise. Didn't get the memo, obviously. Sorry. Right then, so that's brilliant. So I've got you for an hour. That's a first.
Yeah,
an hour of your time?
An hour.
Ooh, I tell you, we are honoured. Right then, shall we get started? Right then. Oh, now, I'll tell you what, we had a two-tone ring earlier, didn't we, with a serenite, and you loved it, but I'm going to give you something very different now. Now this, okay, this is two-tone. So from one side you get the sterling silver look. If I show you that there, look. So one side you get sterling silver, and then on the other side you get 18 karat gold plate. Now it's, look, if I show you, look. So a really subtle two-tone split, and as you look at it, obviously you've got the silver side and you've got the gold plated side. Very, very clever indeed. Now what a lovely idea, look, because we've got a trilogy of hearts. Okay, lovely idea. We're talking about the wedding weekend, so the idea of a trilogy ring, and I've got to get this right because sometimes I've got it wrong. I love you today more than yesterday, but not as much as tomorrow.
That's lovely.
Isn't that lovely?
That is nice.
You know, you'd be impressed if your fella said that to you, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'd fall over. I've got Ben. Ben, by the way, Ben's my director. Ben, did you see what Claire McDonald's just made you and Joe do? She made him some stuff for his wedding. He gets married this Friday, our director. Woo-hoo! Oh, no, it's very exciting. Now then, how about I bring you some gemstones to fit in here? Heart shape would be ideal, wouldn't it? Swiss blue topaz. Oh, now they're going to look. I'm going to give you 3 of them because obviously there's 3 holes for the hearts. Look, so you've got to have a trilogy. 3 beautiful Swiss blue topaz there in that 2-tone plated design. Size 7 N to O. So again, as you look at the design that way, it looks full on sterling silver, doesn't it? Yeah? And then as you turn it around, I can't actually turn it around that way because my hand's in the wrong position, but otherwise I'd be like quite sort of, twisting my whole hand round. But yeah, from that area, look, it looks solid, beautiful gold, doesn't it? So it's 2-toned. It's sterling silver all the way through, gold plated, 18 karat gold plated on this side. And then you've got that lovely, lovely trilogy design. So that's your profile as well, look. There are your 3 beautiful opportunities to prong set. Now earlier on we did give you the prong setting 8-piece toolkit, didn't we, for $9.95? Okay, so we did bring you that as well to make it really, really simple. And there are 3 of these lovely Swiss blue topaz, beautifully cut and faceted hearts to go in there as well. Okay, so 3 of those Brazilian Swiss blue topaz with all its pleocruism and brilliance. And I tell you what, that hits what's known as the perfect gamut point for blue. Oh, hang on. We got Dion producing and she goes naughty when it's blue. Now, hang on a second. We're just bringing you single solitaire 2-tone rings for $17.95. We've just bought you a full-on trilogy 2-tone. Okay, so 3 of those. Don't think I can't pick 3 up in the tweezers. I'm afraid that would be extremely talented. I can only pick 1 up at a time. But you're going to get 3. So think of the value for money. 1 2-tone solitaire we had earlier, $7.95. Brilliant price. Brilliant price. But we've just gone to a trilogy 2-tone ring, Angela, for £4 more.
That is, you know, I'm looking at that and I'm just thinking the value for money in that is stunning because, you know, that colour, that gemstone, the shape and the cut of it, it's not an easy one to find.
Absolutely.
And if you do find it, it's not going to be at this price.
And the thing is as well, you know, we've just popped the 8-piece tool set for $9.95 at the bottom of the screen. It's got the wooden ring clamp, it's got the claw, the tweezers, it's got the bezel pusher for setting those, using those prong settings. Now Julia just said, with a 3-stone ring, which stone do you set first as the prongs are very close together?
I would always go for the middle.
I was just going to say, I would have thought the middle. Yeah,
I'd go for the middle first to get that into position because then the other prongs are on the outer edge and then it's going to be easier.
It's more easy access then as well, I would have thought. So go for the middle one first, Julia. Thank you, Angela, there for just confirming. So go for the middle one first and then... Sorry, I panicked then. I had a right panic then. Oh gosh, my heart absolutely... Honestly, my heart, because somebody just said, that's not Angela, and I thought, it is? My heart went, because I thought, hang on, I haven't got a name wrong. Oh, proper panic then. I looked at you again and thought, it is Angela.
I'm in disguise today.
I had a panic then, Kathy. She said, that's not Angela. She has transformed. Love the new hairdo. Great show. Tans and pearls in the bag. Oh, I did panic then. Oh, my little heart went.
An imposter is in my place today.
I thought, oh no, it's Angela. Have I got a name wrong? Sorry. Oh, and Mandy just said stunning ring and it's my birthstone. I had to get it. Oh, so that's your birthstone, is it? Citrine and topaz, isn't it? Wow, for November. Goodness me. Lovely. My friend Tony from Essex last week bought the pear-shaped Swiss blue topaz in sterling silver and white topaz surround that we had. She set it and she's posted it on Facebook. It looks stunning. I saw it yesterday. Oops, I did it again. I pressed checkout, suddenly got a discount. I really love you, Dion. That's what Deborah, not me, Deborah. That's Deborah. Deborah, well done. Oh, brilliant. And I've just got Mirabelle. Good afternoon. We've gone into the afternoon, haven't we, Mirabelle? She said, meant to say, Z, for when the cladder ring is on, we've done it already. Again, it means with these two hands, I give you my heart and crown it with my loyalty. Oh, thank you, Mirabelle. We did it earlier. And your mum and dad, I said earlier when I did it actually, your mum and dad got married in Cladder rings, didn't they? Irish rings, yeah. Thank you for that, Mirabelle. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Can I just say, if
you can say anything you like, Angela.
Thank you, thank you. If you've never set a ring before,
Yes.
I can vouch that it is the easiest thing in the world.
Is it really?
It really is. I last week got home a couple of days.
Yeah.
Not that design, a different design. And I didn't even use my gem setting toolkit. I just used my pliers, my regular pliers.
Wow.
And it's so easy.
And the good thing is as well as Angela, we have got tutorials. If you think, well, I want to see it first, get the toolkit at the bottom, 8-piece toolkit, because it does make it a lot easier at $9.95. Brilliant value for money. And a lot of people have said, I've got the toolkit, I couldn't live without it now. So do try and get hold of that. But also there is a tutorial on the Jewellery Maker website to teach you how to set those prongs. Okay. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, darling girl. Right then, my lovelies, we are going to give you the star buy of the eye-popping peridot. $50 carats of really, really good sized peridot, and they are breathtaking. I'm thinking if you got the neon apatite earlier, the neon apatite with those peridots would look sensational, and peridot and amethyst looks brilliant. Peridot and morganite that we had in the kit earlier, peridot and the tanzanite that we've just had, and the clarity in these is rather special. Look. Now, as we said with the tanzanite earlier, I'm talking about the perfect colour of peridot. Not too light, not too dark, absolutely exactly what you want with peridot. Now, I know when Mark Smith got married, Mark Smith's colours were peridot and amethyst. When Mark Smith got married,
right.
Those are the colours he chose. Yeah, absolutely. Don't they sparkle, Angela?
They are stunning. Absolutely love them. And I'm just thinking, you know, if you're having bridal hair vines,
yes,
that is just perfect,
isn't it,
for it, because you've got that pop of colour that's going to work against any colour. And, you know, we've heard, you know, the past 2 days that people are getting married in all different colours.
All different colours, absolutely.
Not just necessarily white. I mean, a couple of years ago, I did some bridal accessories for a pagan wedding.
Oh, really?
With all the golds and the reds and the oranges and greens. She didn't want pearls, she wanted colour.
Wow.
And using greens and peridots were perfect.
Absolutely. That is an incredible strand of peridot. It really, really is. Can I just have the statistics coming into the studio, Dan, so I can just see where it's from? Oh, I thought it was. Right then, do you know what? Hunan and Changbai in China have always been two of the most fantastic locations for peridot. However, I tell you now, the location for peridot right now is the United States of America. I tell you, Steve Bennett, when he came and gave us some training on peridot recently, when he heard that we had got peridot from the US of A, he said, actually, if there's any that you've got, I will buy it back from Jewellery Maker. He cannot believe that we have got United States of America peridot. This is the ultimate location right now. Now look at that clarity. And again, sharp facet junctions throughout. They're gorgeous. Now, Sharon just said, peridot and amethyst remind me of my late nan. She said, because she always wore these colours. Oh, did she? And that's the thing. We have emotional connections with gemstones, don't we?
We do.
Because of that reason.
And to colours as well. Yeah. I mean, I can imagine that would look stunning, especially in the floral design.
Yeah.
That would, because it would just remind me of those lavender coloured flowers.
Absolutely.
With a green
I love
backdrop.
lavender.
Yeah.
Love lavender.
Yeah.
But that is just... Now, I'm going to tell you something else about peridot. We're not stopping at $17.95. Just going to quickly show it on the neckline, just to give you an idea, again, against the skin tone of the neckline. There you go. Oh, yeah. Do you know what? $2.95 is our post and packaging. We were at $17.95, and post and packaging is all day long. Now, we haven't just given you $2.95 back, we've just given you £5 back on... Do you know what? I hope Steve... oh, hi. Oh, it's all right. Sorry about that. Just had a droppage in the studio. I won't drop him in it. Behave, Mike. Right then, so we've got a super... How many of these have we got, Diggs? I think they're all going to go. Oh, is that all? Oh, gosh, hurry up then, because the last 3 people have just bought 2 each. So Julie, Angela, Diane have all just bought 2 each. Jeannie, my lovely Jeannie and Bob in the West Midlands, they've just got them. Lineria, what a gorgeous name in Oxfordshire, Lineria, wow. Vicky, collectors have got them. Andrew's just come in. Good morning, good afternoon. Oh, hang on, I'm doing it now. Oh, it's all going on. Well done, Andrew. Belinda as well, all the gang are here. Lola, love that. Oh, Lola. Claire McDonald's little girl's called Lola, isn't she? Just been saying hello to her. Right then, now. This is the list yet to check out. And look, you've already halved what I've got. Sweetha, Paula, Deborah, Justine, Tracy, Corinne, Cecile. Gosh, we've got some gorgeous names. Tracy, Eleanor, Karen, Leslie, collectors in Bedfordshire, in Merseyside. George Frederick's just got them. Margaret's just come into the mix as well. Jamie. Hello, Jamie. This is my lovely mate, Jamie. And Jamie's just said, how do, lovelies? How do, lovelies? Happy first day of spring. Yes, it's the first day of spring today.
Oh, is
the
it?
Equinox. Do you know what that means and why it's the first day of spring? We found out today.
No.
Julie messaged in because it's the first day of the year where the day is longer than the night. Hence why it's the equinox. We learnt that today. I'd like to claim it was me that knew it, but it wasn't. It was Julie messaged in. Claire McDonald, guest is on, and knew it was the equinox. She knew that, but she didn't know what the equinox meant. So Julie messaged. I think it was Julie, wasn't it? From memory, I think it was Julie. Did it say anything else, that text? Because I hadn't finished it. I take too long reading messages, and Dee whops them off the screen to teach me a lesson. Happy first day of spring, just got mine. It reminds me of a spring meadow. Oh, yeah, a picnic in a spring meadow, Jamie. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Lavinia. Oh, Lavinia. Gorgeous name. Good morning, ladies. Love your hairstyle, Angela.
Oh, thank you.
Always enjoy when you are on our screens. Lavinia Lewis Alexander.
Oh, hello, Lavinia. And thank you so much. I know you're on my page. You do follow me, so I will
bless her.
whiz you a quick message when I get home.
You do look smoking hot, Angela. You do look smoking hot.
Well, after the night I had, I just had to have loads of makeup on.
Oh, have you been out? Have you been out? Oh,
yeah.
Were you where I thought you were last night on Broad Street?
No. It was somewhere else.
Oh, she's been somewhere else. Oh. I'll talk to you in the break. Sire's just come in. This is Tony's husband. Sire's just come in and says, "Afternoon, Sina. What are you setting Tony now?" Hello, Sire. You all right, love? Do look, her husband's lovely. It's gorgeous. Now, Deb reckons the equinox is next weekend according to the calendar. Oh. Apparently somebody says it's today. Oh, I don't know now. Oh, I'll let you argue amongst yourselves. I don't know. Oh, I guessed it was next weekend. Is the clock going for?
Yeah, I was going to say that the clock changes next week around the 23rd,
but
isn't
to be fair, at 6 o'clock this morning, it was lovely and bright. It was lovely and bright at 6 o'clock this morning, whereas it's normally quite dark, and it was before the clocks go forward next week. Oh, we've only got 15 left. Oh, I'll show you one last look. Shall I give you one last look at that United States of America brilliant peridot? Or what if they say peridot in America if they go peridot? Peridot. I can't do the American accent, could you tell? Peridot. Oh, hang on, that's heavy. That's got to be 1 mil. Now then. Look at this. That's a very substantial reel of 1 millimetre silver coloured copper wire, a whole 1 milling gauge, and 50 metres, Angela. Ooh.
That's a lot.
That's a lot. It's going to go a long way, isn't it, Angela?
Yeah, of course it will. Yeah, you'll get a lot of, either jewellery or accessories.
Yeah.
Perfect
for bridal commission.
Yeah, great for table decorations as well.
Claire did that this morning.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, table decorations, brilliant.
Right. Well, I'm nowhere near as talented as Claire. So what I would do is...
You are in your own way, Angela.
In my own way.
You take that back, woman.
I will do.
Thank you.
But what I would do, I would take a long reel, a long piece of the wire, scrunch it up, and put fairy lights in it and have them as table decorations, or have loads of fairy lights in the bottom of a bowl and loads of these balls just on top. And that's a great way. So you don't even have to be skilled to create your own decorations.
I know that. Could I just tell you that in the sense that now I know. I went to a wedding where they had big glass bowls full of fairy lights, and it looked. Are you doing that, Ben? Ben gets married on Friday. He's doing that as well. I don't want to give all the secrets away, Ben and Jodie. I bet Jodie's saying, "Don't tell anyone." Shush, Ben. Shush. But yeah, and then do all silver or whatever. Because I tell you what, the coloured wires we've had today, Angela. We've had maroon, we've had blue, we've had green, we've had copper, antique, bronze, silver, twisted. But yeah, you could put
You know, because you know, on Friday we talked about the cost of the average wedding in the UK, which is around £21,000. And the average, I know, it's shocking. And the average bride will spend just under £3,000 on rings and jewellery accessories. So, I know, shocking. So, some people are on a budget. So if you're budgeting, what a great way to accessorise your venue, your table decorations, you know, create your own gifts with wire. I know. 21,000 is the average here in the UK.
That's why I can afford a nice car, I tell you, because I'm not married. I've got no kids and I'm not married. That's why I've got a decent motor. That's got some money left. 21.
Yeah.
I'd actually heard it was about 25 to 27, so it's just a lot of money, isn't it?
I mean, it might have gone up, but that was what it was back in 2014, so
it's
2
probably
years
gone up a
ago.
bit now, yeah?
It probably has,
Goodness gracious me. But again, we've taught today that you can make your own tiara. Alison Terry's taught us how to spruce up your wedding shoes. You can make your own wire mesh floral bouquet. You can make your own lovely... we had, earlier on as well, we had the table decorations from Claire. How to write bride and groom, write your names in wire writing. We've had loads of ideas. Yeah, I'll tell you what, all your own jewellery as well.
And you know, whatever your skill level, you can do something to add to your to personalise your own wedding. Or if your business is supplying the bridal industry, then your ideas and the range of ideas you're going to have with getting things like the wiring is going to be extensive.
Absolutely. And the great thing is, we'll get the price in. It's 1mm, so great for your structural work. $17.95. No, darlings, not today. We're doing something special for as it's the wedding fair weekend. You know, I've got a lot of people that, and it is the last day of it today. We've just done it again. £5 saving on that 1mm beautiful silver colour copper wire, a whole 1mm gauge. Brilliant deal for you there. Superb. And that is incredible, $12.95. And the thing is as well, the reason you want to try and get each of your components that you make your jewellery with, or whatever we're talking about, is because the more cost effective you can buy the components, because of course you've got to work into your time if you're selling your jewellery. So again, the cheaper the components, but whilst not obviously taking away from the quality, because we're talking about quality, affordability and quality. That's really important on Jewellery Maker. That's why we're very proud of our gemstones. They're all genuine, all of our beautiful tools and storage and gorgeous wires and things. We give you 30-day money-back guarantee. And that gives you a chance to make sure you're happy with what you've got to get as well, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. It gives you a chance to try it. You know, see the quality, see how it's going to fit into your, you know, bridal arrangements or into your business if that's the route you're going down. But yeah, it's really important to get them home. Yeah,
incredible. 30-day money-back guarantee. $12.95. David in Devon's got 3. Good for you, David. Pauline's got 2 as well. Right, I'll leave those with you. $12.95. Well done. Well done. Well done. Which hour, darling? 12 o'clock. Ooh, flush cutters. Now, I've not got many of these left. Did you see the peridot hurl itself off then?
Yeah, I did.
It went didn't it? Right then, we have got, in my opinion, in my personal humble opinion, bearing in mind I've only just started making jewellery last week, thanks to Mark Smith. This is so essential to your jewellery making. These are your flush cutters. Would you agree, Angela?
Yeah, Yeah, those are absolutely fabulous. Great for cutting not just your wire, but like your beading thread and things like that. Yeah.
But the great thing is they've got this, because of this sort of pinpointed section at the top. If I just show you that to you, if I turn it over for you, because of that pinpointed sharp section at the top, it's spring joined as well, so it snaps back into position quite easily. I'll show you that in a minute. But that means you can cut really, really flush. So if you've got, so for example, I was making a macrame bracelet. I had some ribbon endings, so I put the 3 ribbons of the bracelet into the ribbon endings and I folded them over, and I wanted to get in really neat and flush and get right in, so there was no show of these threads. I couldn't do it. I had the standard cutters in the sort of the, you know, starter pack on the tools, and they're good, they're great, they're fine. But the second you've moved to flush cutters, you never go back. No. Never. No, I absolutely love mine. They're comfort grip as well. Yep. So if you've got dexterity problems, they're absolutely fabulous for that. But also they give you a really clean, sharp cut. They're brilliant. So if you're doing your table decorations, like with your wire and scrunching it, what you don't want is all those loose, jagged edges. Yep. This is going to be perfect for it. They're perfect. I guarantee you now, every single one of our guest designers will have a pair of flush cutters. 100%. Every single one of them. I say that with absolute confidence. And again, as our lovely Angela said, they're ergonomic, they fit lovely, they're lovely and lightweight. And because of that spring joint in the centre as well, when you close it into position, it jumps back automatically. Okay, so that's because of that spring. So you hold it into position and then bang, that's it. It just releases. You don't have to fold, don't have to prise them open yourself. Okay, I bought a pair of flush cutters. $29.95. These are the Beadalon, okay? We do Xuron as well. These are the Beadalon, really good quality, because, you know, these are your designer flush cutters. These are the ones that you really, really, really want to get hold of. I know we sold out of the Xuron flush cutters last week, actually. So, yeah, we did sell out the Xuron. We do have the Beadalon. Well, we've got them on reorder, so don't worry about that. But if you do want the Beadalon high-grade deluxe lush cutters, I get my words out, flush cutters, to cut flush, $29.95. Okay, brilliant. Brilliant. Right then, we have got another brilliant star buy for you. I've got a beautiful, beautiful rainbow moonstone. Now this gemstone has been surrounded by mystery and magic. It's featured in different cultures through thousands and thousands of years. I say thousands of years. Do you know the Romans were setting rainbow moonstone into their jewellery as far back, we can actually prove it, as far back as 100 AD. Really? The history, yeah. The history of this gemstone is mind-boggling. It really, really is. And I'll tell you what, the adulorescence. So think of this shimmering metallic light in a labradorite. It's called adulorescence, but it got renamed labradorescence because of the labradorite possesses it in such volume. But this is actually a transparent labradorite rainbow moonstone. And it has the shimmers of blues in the rainbow moonstone that deliver. And now this is very sharp blue coming through, but you need to get it back into 30-day money-back guarantee. Get it back home. See it in natural balanced daylight, which is about midday if you can. These are totally natural, and you just marvel at the shimmering blues that will come through when you get them home. You can see them just hinting. If I just perhaps shadow it slightly, look, there you go. Look, as soon as I shadow the light out, look. Can you see, look? You can see the blue. I'm just shadowing where that is there. That will continue throughout the strand because it's a really, really good quality 40 carats of rainbow moonstone. It's beautiful, isn't it? Really, really beautiful. Okay, it's a star buy. I'll show you on the neckline again. Again, anything we've shown you today, those lovely bright orange corals, the jadeite, the tanzanite, go great with tanzanite, lovely with peridot. No, the reason this is a star buy, I know you've just seen $11.95 and you're probably thinking absolutely brilliant, but we're just giving you the post and packaging back. Okay, it's a $2.95 all day long. No matter how many times you check out, my lovelies, you will only get one post and packaging of £2.95. I'm talking about the UK, of course. Obviously, different prices depending on where you are in the world, but £2.95. 30-day money-back guarantee. Totally and utterly natural, these rainbow moonstones, and they are gorgeous. Brilliant, brilliant deal. And again, as I said, £2.95. We just saved you £3. That's your post and packaging given back to you. Now, Liz in Kent said it's so beautiful. I love this gemstone. She said subtle and refined, a bit like myself. Not really. Such good quality. Loving the price too, Dion. Well, she's done it, Liz, because it's got blue in it, hasn't she? What do you mean she did, Bev? What does that mean? I did just say, oh, Beverly just said, Zena, did you just say blue? She did, Bev. That's why we went down. We went down £3. We gave you post and packaging right back there and then. Isn't that incredible?
Do you know what? I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, lots of people are having themed weddings.
They are actually
now.
big thing now, isn't it? Themed
weddings. So it's a great alternative to pearls because that beautiful, you know, adolescent coming through, which is really nice. But also, you know, if your themed wedding is around mythical creatures and fairies, how gorgeous is that? Because it gives you that whole feel of, you know, fantasy with all the blue shimmers and the colours bouncing off that.
I thought of that, Angela.
Stunning, absolutely stunning. You know, weave that into your designs, or just. It's gorgeous enough to just be re-stranded.
And for weddings, it's got a bit of blue in it.
Absolutely, something blue.
Absolutely. I mean, subtle.
Yeah, very subtle.
So for those that want the idea of the something old, something new, something borrowed, something blue, but they don't necessarily want full-on blue, you've covered it with rainbow moonstone.
Absolutely. I've got a client, a catering client, and she has a jewellery business all around fairies, and her theme is fairies, and she will do commissions for fairy weddings and things like that. Perfect. Wow. Perfect. I met a lovely lady on Mark's course on Saturday yesterday, and again she's going down the whole fairy route.
Wow.
That'd be perfect.
Oh, how lovely. What a lovely idea. Now Deborah's just said, oh, I've got the moonstone to use as spaces with the beautiful tanzanite. Yeah, that tanzanite where we went to $39.95. Incredible. A symphony of blue. Love the hair, Angela.
Oh, I think I'm going to have to wear it like this.
You
all
are,
the time
aren't you?
now.
Everybody's commenting on your hair, Bab. I'll tell you. The tanzanite, I haven't got that tanzanite to hand now. I'm so sorry, I would have shown it you again. But if you're looking on the website, on JewelleryMaker.com, you'll be able to see the tanzanite. It was one of the best strands of tanzanite. Violet blue, full-on saturation, perfect tanzanite. Should have been $49.95. We took it down to $39.95. Code is... Can I just check the code? OV, is that O? I can't see that from here. OVUD09, 90 carats. And again, check that tanzanite out. Beautiful idea. Veronica said, she said, hi all, today is the equinox. Okay, right, we've had it officially from Veronica. It has nothing to do with the changing of the hour next weekend. That is a man-made change, not natural. That told me, didn't it? Veronica, thank you though. Veronica, really, do you know what as well? When I read that, I totally, you've got one of those lovely ways of writing where you know when you just believe somebody 100%. Yeah, There's no questioning Veronica there. Is there? Thank you. Do you know, you are absolutely right, Veronica, as well. It is a whole man-made thing, and it was to do with the farmers, wasn't it, I think? Changing the hours, wasn't it? To get more sunlight, to make sure they could get the crops in. So you're absolutely right. And there used to be, I think, about the person that came up with it, I'm sure, tried to have 5 to 6 or 4 to 6 changes of time through the year, and eventually it got reduced to 1. You're absolutely right, Veronica. It was a man-made thing. You're quite right. You are absolutely right. She's given us 3 kisses. Thank you, Veronica. Thank you for the input there as well. So it is definitely today. Cheers, Veronica said. I've got another blue star by. And it is lovely. Oh my. Look at those. So that is a star. But how long before we do this one, Dee? About 10 minutes, lovely girl. 10 minutes. I'm going to keep that out to one side. That would go nice with the peridot, wouldn't it, as well?
That would be gorgeous.
Oh, yeah. Coming up in 10 minutes. Right then. Okay. Now, we've got to talk to Angela as well. Don't forget, my lovely. So just to let you know, because we've got to have a little chat with you as well, haven't we, Angela? She went, yeah, I'm stood here. She's got some tips for us, apparently. Oh, now, do you know what's brilliant about these? Do you know what's brilliant about these, right? They're drilled. Huh? So if you've been desperate to try working with a cabochon, but you think, oh, I don't know how to attach an agate, a cabochon. Do you know what? I'm gonna put my torch behind there as well. Firstly, so you can see how unusual they are and fascinating look, but I just want to highlight the fact that it is drilled at the top. Now, you know, sometimes when we say to you, we're not going to tell you how many you're going to get, well, we are going to get 4. Guaranteed. And they're going to be 275 carats. Now, the one thing I always want to show you about our agate cabochons is the fascinating edges. Now, look at them. I love the edge, that natural rustic look of the agates. And the great thing is every single one is different. So we've got different sizes. Every single one is top drilled at the top, look, pretty much in the centre. Isn't that lovely? Again, I'll show you a little, the torch, it might be a bit bright for you, but I'll just try it. There you go, look at that. Ooh, it's like a lagoon blue, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I look at that and I see the Caribbean.
Yeah.
See those little islands and, you know,
yeah,
near the shore, it's beautiful.
Well, I'll tell you what that makes me think of. When you fly over the Maldives atolls, that's what they look like.
Yes.
That is exactly what they look like.
Perfect.
Aren't they lovely? Shall I show you the size of some of those, look? I'm going to do a balance. All you got to do is add in a chain to that. And you could wear that instantly, couldn't you? I mean, they're lovely to take on holiday, aren't they?
I mean, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking destination weddings. If you're getting married on the beach.
Oh, yes, Angela.
Wouldn't that just be
stunning?
stunning?
Getting married on the beach.
You've got that whole organic shape, you know, that beautiful edge. You know, stunning, great for bridesmaids. But also, again, your table decoration, set that in a wire frame, and pop a candle behind it.
Oh yeah, lovely.
Wouldn't that be
stunning? You, Angela?
I'm full of ideas today.
You went off. I think that haircut's gone to your head. Oh, I tell you what, she's absolutely right. Deb Briggs just said, no, Deb does like a cabochon. What'd she say? Fab for surfers. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Definitely.
Surfer dude. It's a for dude. 275 carats, we're going to go, all 4 of them, we've just gone to £9.95, so they're already less than £2.50 each. How about £2 each? No. You're going to get 4 of those. 275 carats for £2 each. I
mean, at prices like this, you are going to definitely be making a profit if you're, you know, doing commissions for your bride, you know, running any kind of business. At that price, that is, you know, for me it's a no-brainer because you've got so many options with those. Yeah. Pop your tea lights on them.
Yeah, tea lights, exactly. Now, let me show you, I've just shown you the star buy, look at that. Look at that for a combination. Isn't that dreamy, look? So I've got those beautiful, beautiful cabochons there in the blue agate slices. You will get 4. They are only £2 each, and that star buy is coming up shortly. Go really lovely, wouldn't it? Okay then. Wonderful. Okay, brilliant, brilliant. Okay. Right then, we're going to show, now we're talking about, now Angela will go on about these as well, I'm sure. Won't you, lovely girl?
I will.
I meant that in the nicest way. It didn't sound right, did it? Go on about this. No, but you know what I mean. But do you agree that, Angela, that when you are selling your jewellery or making your jewellery, you've got to display it professionally?
Without a doubt, especially if you're charging a premium, particularly, you know,
especially for weddings.
Weddings, you know, it has to. You've put so much time and effort thinking about your bride, working with her. You know, developing your business, it just doesn't make sense to have your goods just sat on the table flat.
Of course it doesn't.
It's not going to show it off to its best effect.
It doesn't bring them to life, does it?
No, it doesn't. So having them held properly like this and displayed properly, it's going to show that you care about your work, and your customer is then going to care about it too. Also, if you're doing commissions for your bride, or you've made you know, you've come in today as a new customer and you've bought product to make for your own wedding or for your bridesmaids, what a wonderful way to be able to present it on a bust.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've just hung a strand on there, Angela, and it makes all the difference. The good thing is as well, because obviously we all wear different types of length of necklace as well. And what we've got, if I just pop that there as well, the thing is, we do them in white, we do them in black as well. So again, like with the rainbow moonstone, if you made some jewellery with that, you'd want the black bust. We've got the white ones for you today. We've got the smaller, the medium and the large. They fold flat as well. So if you are going to one of the 572 wedding fairs in the UK in 2016 alone, then these fold flat. So again, you might think they look really impressive, and they do, and that's fantastic, but then they fold down lovely and flat. So again, when space is of a premium, both in the vehicle that you're going in, assuming you're driving, or actually when you get to because you only get a dedicated amount of area, don't you?
Yeah, and sometimes at these wedding fairs, you can, you know, your space can be anything from, you know, 2 by 2 meters, and that is just no space at all. So having a bust like this means that you can attach them to your wall and down the sides.
Exactly, so they can act as displays there as well.
Absolutely.
Can I show you one more thing, really, really quickly? Can we get the price in and I'll tell you one more thing? £12.95, but we're going to beat it today. For the wedding fair today, we're going to beat that for you. All three for £9.95. So look at that, £3.32 each. Incredible. Can I show you as well the reason about the quality of these? Look, you have a little section at the back with a little bit of ribbon, okay, to secure it into position. That you just press down and you can either shorten it or lengthen it. You just press the button down at the top. I can just do that while I'm live in the studio, okay, and just put it into and sort of shorten it. So if you've got again a little space on the table, you can make them a little bit taller as well. The other thing to mention, can I show you this on the back here? Because a lot of places, think of the photo frames you might have had in the past where they're stuck on, okay, with a stick-on hinge. They do eventually go with usage, don't they? Can you see, look, that we've actually screw hinged these into position, so they're going to be really, really durable as well.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah.
Because if you're, you know, growing your business or starting your business, you want to invest in pieces that you can use year after year after year.
Yep.
So you want the quality.
Yep, totally agree. Brilliant. Never, £9.95.
That is really good. I mean, I would say, you know, white is a perfect colour for weddings.
Yeah.
I mean, traditionally, black isn't, you know, in terms of display, good for weddings.
Yeah, because it needs to look clean.
Exactly.
Really bright and clean.
Light. Yeah, so for your wedding business, or if you're making and giving us bridal gifts, definitely white busts.
Yeah. Now we've got Angela's workshop tomorrow. You got how many ladies you got coming on your workshop tomorrow?
Oh, I think it's about 5 or 5
brilliant.
or 6, something
we know
like that.
3 of them: Dawn, Susan, and Charlene. And a customer just said, I would totally recommend Angela's business coaching for anyone considering it. Gives you a completely fresh perspective and loads of new ideas.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank
you.
There you go.
I'm speaking with her Tuesday.
Are you?
Yeah, Tuesday evening.
Lovely.
I offer my services via telephone or Skype.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
You do that as well.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
I do that as well. So if you know, sometimes people can't get into our courses.
Yes, of course.
So I, support people in different ways.
Wow, wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you,
So
darling.
look forward to
great.
speaking to you soon, Michelle.
Wonderful. Thank you, Michelle. Right then, get ready. We've got a showstopper. Right then, showstopper, because again, we're talking something blue, aren't we? That beautiful sentiment of something old, something new, something borrowed, and something blue. Do we even know where that came from? I don't know. There's centuries of history in that, isn't there? It's just a lovely idea, isn't it? So we've got the something blue. It'll go lovely with the agate slices that we've just had. And it is a really lovely, lovely blue. It's very tranquil blue, very soothing, very relaxing, very calming blue. And it's, if you think about it, Serenity Blue is the Pantone colour for this year, which is a lovely light blue, Serenity Blue, isn't it? It's really gorgeous. Pretty. Now look at those aquamarines. Now just to mention as well, it's the wonderful Madagascan. So again, wonderful location for gemstones. And it's totally natural. Now I'll tell you what, For those of you that are trained like we are here at Jewellery Maker, so as an accredited jewellery professional, you will know instantly that for aquamarine, that is a really, really good blue. Really, really, because sometimes aquamarine can look quite washed out, can look almost white. No danger of that with this strand. Really lovely.
That is, and it's quite, it's subtle, but it's a very noticeable blue as well. It's lovely. I'm thinking destination weddings, cruises.
Beach weddings,
People
totally
get
agree.
married on cruises as well. How lovely that would be.
You know, or like flying out to, a friend of mine got married in Italy recently. Again, you know, anywhere like that, go somewhere, anywhere to sort of have that lovely sunshine wedding. It'd just be beautiful, wouldn't it? Amanda just said, nice little birthday treat. Is it your birthday, Amanda? We've had 3 birthdays today. Happy birthday, Amanda. Happy birthday, lovely girl. Now, it's a showstopper. We've got Dee in the producer's chair. She does love a blue, so we're going to really go naughty for you on it. We really are there. Oh, hang on. There you go. Hang on. Oh, okay. 33% saving there.
That's really good. That is really good. You know, because people know aquamarine, don't they?
Yeah.
You know, it's also the gemstone of travellers.
It is. You're absolutely right.
You know, so if you're travelling, or your guests are travelling, or your bride is travelling overseas to their wedding, lovely thought. Pair of earrings, a pendant.
Yeah, lovely simple pendant on sterling silver.
Nice little gift just to say thank you for your business. You know, lovely.
But again, great for bridesmaids, presents as well. Lovely little droplet pendants or a little pair of earrings. Oh, so lovely, isn't it? Now, Anastasia, Sweetha, collectors in Merseyside as well. We are limited on this one. It's an amazing deal. It should be $14.95. We've given you 33% saving there. Massive long list of you checked out. Goodness gracious me. Shirley, Elizabeth, Sheena, Anastasia, Maura, Davinia, love your name. Susan, Imitaz, Karen, Amanda, Carola, well done. And Amanda has just treated herself for her birthday. Is it today? We want to know if it's your birthday today. Well, it's this month's birthday, isn't it, March?
It is, yes.
It is. It is. Lovely. $9.95. Brilliant. Aquamarine. I love aquamarine. I just think it's so innocent.
And you know, aquamarine was the stone of engagement.
Yes, it was.
Before diamonds. It was
are quite
Queen
right.
Victoria that made diamonds popular, and then the whole marketing around diamonds. So you know, letting your bride know how special aquamarine is going to really make a difference to their day.
Absolutely, it really is, isn't it? Now then, okay, earlier on today when we had on the morning show the cladder ring, I did say, because it had got Ethiopian opal in it, the Irish cladder ring, I did say to everybody we had got a strand of opal, Ethiopian opal, going at an amazing price, but I would only have 22 of them. That's it. And this is it. Don't forget, studio lights, I need you to get them home to appreciate the play of colour, because the studio lights drain. They're not kind to an opal, the studio lights. But you can see it for yourself because we give you 30 days money back guarantee. We do. This is probably one of the most affordable strands of Ethiopian opal you're ever likely to see. It's happening right now, but I've only got 22. Okay, that's it, I'm afraid. 22, that is it. Okay, so we've got 15 carats of Ethiopian opal. Now, we talk about tanzanite, not knowing when it's going to run out. Steve Bennett, my lovely cousin of Gemporia and the original founder of Jewellery Maker, he's just visited Ethiopia, came back, I think it was Monday, Tuesday night, just been to Ethiopia, and he said it is alarming. There is talk of there being less than 24 months of availability. The main sort of passageway crevice in Ethiopia, in the Weigel-Tina mines, has already been depleted. So we don't know, they've gone to tiny cracks and crevices at this location. We do not know when, how long, but there's talk of it being less than 2 years, okay? It really, really is. Now, I started with, as I said, I only had 24, that was it. It's a good strand, 15 carats of Ethiopian opal. And this is, if you've never had any of our Ethiopian opal, I would get them home. Have you had some of our Ethiopian opal?
You know, Ethiopian opal is my favourite gemstone of all time. I love it. I've got some, and I've just restranded a section of my strand into a bracelet. And the other week, my partner we were sat on the sofa. I was wearing it because I wear my gems around the house.
Good for you.
He was mesmerised.
Was he?
Absolutely mesmerised by it. It's gorgeous.
It is beautiful. The only sad thing in the studio, which is going to, I did say it was going to go under £20 earlier this morning, didn't I? I did. The thing is, again, what I need to try and do is almost shade it for you, because I can't show Opal at its optimum performance in the studio. It's impossible because the studio is too brightly lit. But again, if I just sort of try and shade it a little bit for you, can you look at the front look at the violets coming out there. And that, bearing in mind, yeah, that's about that's not even 20% of what you're going to get when you get it home. They have gone. I knew they would. But again, do you know what? 2% returns rate we have. 2% returns rate. That's it, because you can't part with what we send you.
No, it is stunning.
Well done, everybody. Right then. Ooh. Ooh. Now, a little bit earlier on, our lovely Claire McDonald was teaching us how to make tiaras, and she was making the flowers herself. But how about if you haven't got the time? We're going to do this as a star by. In fact, we'll do it now for you. These are so cute. I've just said to Angela, these are lovely, aren't they? Now then, look at this. So, and usually as well, we don't normally say how many you're going to get, do we? But you know what? These are poppy jasper. So lovely, lovely poppy jasper. And they do pop with colour, don't they? And they are, can you see, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 petals, 5 petal flowers. They're 16 mil, so they're very sizable. And it's a brand new strand. Now, the good news is you're going to get 16. Should we have a little count to confirm? 16 it says. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I can concur. You do get 16. Really, really pretty. Now, again, imagine making these for your bridesmaids and sort of little flower girls and things.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking, you know, you can just get a little bit of wire, twist it and wrap it around a hair grip.
Absolutely.
As simple as that. You've got a lovely hair.
Yeah, lovely idea actually, yeah.
Or do the same, twist it and you've got a buttonhole for the guys.
Yeah, good idea.
Or if you want to create little posies for your table decorations or for your bridesmaids or your flower girls, again, a little bit of wire, twist it, create a bunch.
Yeah, absolutely.
So many ideas for that.
I love the idea for the bridesmaids, just a little hair slide. Yeah, that's lovely and simple, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. You know, so it just makes it so much easier and quicker. And you know, people coming in today, you know, you might be new to us, you might be new to jewellery making.
Absolutely.
You don't need to be highly skilled as a jewellery maker to be able to create beautiful accessories with our products.
Yeah. And again, what you can do as well, we've bought some lovely sort of 0.4 mil wires today as well. Just wrap those around the petals, a little bit of wire, and it gives a little bit of metallic look to the flower as well. That's a nice way to do it.
They'd make great rings as well, wouldn't they?
They would, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just sort of suspend, just hold one of those if I can, just gently on the strand. I'll make a lovely, lovely ring. Really, really lovely. So guaranteed 16 of these poppy jaspers with the 5 petaled flowers. Are you ready for this? Star by. Real treat now. $6.95.
Wow, you know, at that price, with so many on the strand, for
16?
me, a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That's pennies.
Yeah.
I'd be saying get a couple in, and then you could create so many accessories for your wedding, for your bridesmaids, as wedding favours as well.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, I mean, just think, reuse our organza gift bags that we bring for you here on Jewellery Maker. You know, a lot of people put the sugared almonds in and things like that, don't they? And then secure it with a lovely, genuine gemstone. I mean, how amazing would that be? Really, really would. We've got some lovely coloured headbands coming up as well in the show this afternoon. So a lovely way to make fascinators as well, because a lot of people just been to the races last week in Cheltenham. other horse race courses are available. But a lot of our team went to the Cheltenham races. We've got some lovely colours coming up on headbands as well for you. So these would go lovely, wouldn't they? Really, really would. $6.95, brilliant. A lot of you coming in for these, aren't you? Oh, I don't blame you. Wow, absolutely fabulous. Okay, right then, let's give you another cheeky trick. We haven't got long of the show left, have we? Oh, look at these for bridal, Angela. Look at them. Wow. Angela's gawping at those, if you didn't mind me saying.
Oh, yeah, I do. Like you see, that would be me. Just one on a sterling silver chain. Yeah. That would be me.
Just one.
Stunning. Eye catcher, that is.
Yeah. Those are bi-prisms, they're called, of beauty. 185 carats of clear quartz in these graduated. So what we mean by graduated faceted is they start at sort of drop of 17 mil by 12 mil across. They go into the centre up to 17 millimetre drop. These are absolutely natural. On this particular strand, now we don't always guarantee, like we did with the poppy jasper, how many you get. We do guarantee the carat weight. So it's 185 carats, and just to give you an idea, in the studio I have 2, 4, 6, 8 on the strand, okay? Just one, 19.95, that's all you need. We're not stopping there. Look at that from a distance, look at those. Aren't they unusual? Those bi-prisms. 14.95. What a lot of people, 14.95.
It's mad.
I mean,
you'd charge way more for one of those. Stunning.
2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. It's less than £2 each. It is less than 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 pounds, 14. That is less than £2 each. Wow. Aren't they lovely?
They're gorgeous. And again, there's so many things you can do with it outside of jewellery. You know, if you're, you know, I'm going to a wedding in April and I'm thinking, you know, accessories, you know, the couple have got their own home. These will make great window charms.
Because when the sunlight comes through and hits a bi-prism, it gives like a rainbow of colours into the room. It's beautiful.
Yeah, light pools as well.
I was just going to say that. Can you imagine having a genuine gemstone? There's a light pool handle. How cool is that?
Your blind pools, you know, all sorts of accessories. They are stunning.
Yeah, incredible. Wow. Oh, Cassie wants to come on. Come on, Cass.
Yeah, I won't be too long because you're running out of time, but I was an emotional wreck earlier, so I just want to say thank you very much. Everybody that supported me, the crew and everybody here, and also I released a song last year, and a lot of the JM customers supported me with that, so thank you very much.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I'll have to send you the link, and so thank you very much, and I will miss you all.
Thank you, darling. God bless.
Right.
Okay. She's leaving us today. We're happy for her, but we're sad as well because she's absolutely lovely lady, brilliant floor manager. She'll be hard to replace, and we will miss her. So thank you to our lovely cast. Thank you as well to Angela.
Yeah, great.
Have a great time in your workshop tomorrow.
Yes. And our next business course is in April, 20th of April.
Brilliant. Thank you, my darling. So thank you very much. Gemma Crow coming up this afternoon. Please stay with us, and I'll see you tomorrow.
The Jewellery Maker Wall of Fame is where you get to showcase your skills as a jewellery designer. Each week, one lucky entrant will win £100 credited to their account, and the runner-up receives £50. If you want to enter your design, just send a photo to studio@jewellerymaker.com, or you can post your photos to Jewellery Maker, Ivy House, Henley Road, Outhill, Studley, B807DU. Get making and good luck. There are 2 easy ways you can purchase from Jewellery Maker. You can watch our show on Sky, Virgin, Freeview and FreeSat, and call our free phone number where you'll be put through to our friendly help team who can place your order. Alternatively, you can go to our website and click to register. Once you've filled in the required details, you can start shopping. You can watch the show by clicking on the Watch Live Show button on the homepage. You can also use our quick search tool and narrow down your results. Once you have found an item that you like, simply click on the Add to Basket button and you can continue shopping or check out right away. Don't forget, you can add as many items to your basket per day for only 1p&p. Enjoy shopping with Jewellery Maker. are live every day from 8 AM to 9 PM. So come and join in and get creating with Jewellery Maker.
Did you know that Jewellery Maker's phone number is free from a UK landline? Now you can spend those extra pennies on more shopping.
There are 4 easy ways to stay in touch with Jewellery Maker. You can like our Facebook page and join a community of over 54,000 people. You can follow us on Twitter and tweet us your messages and opinions, send photos of your designs and enter our Wall of Fame competition. Or if you need any help or advice, you can email our friendly help team. Make sure to get involved and stay up to date with Jewellery Maker.
Hello everybody, welcome all to Jewellery Maker. How are you all this morning? How are you? Sorry we were on that slide a little bit too long. My belt just popped off, but it's all back on now. It's all ready and raring to go. What a great start to the show, isn't it? That, and what else have I done this morning? Open a black eyeshadow over the dress I was meant to wear, and it just went everywhere. So a really, really good day so far. But you know what? It is about to get even more fantastical. It really, truly is. Ladies and gentlemen, I always love working with such a range of guest designers. It's always so wonderful to see what all the guest designers come up with and create with products that we've seen a few times before. But I think it's phenomenal when we get to see brand new products and how one of our most loved guest designers works with them. You're about to fall in love with her creations if you haven't seen her before. If you have seen her before, you'll already love her. Today I'm joined by the wonderful Gemma Crow.
Hello.
Hey Gem,
That's a lovely
how
introduction.
Are you?
Thank
Oh
you.
well, you know, I try. You look sensational.
Thank you.
You really are looking.
It's the jewellery.
The headpiece is just finishing off this phenomenal outfit. It's just beautiful. You've been given some brand new products, Gem.
I have. I'm lucky again.
How do you feel when you're given brand new products? Because I'd imagine it's quite a bit of pressure.
Oh, well, sort of, but I sort of feel privileged because it's nice to get new things and try them out. And what's really exciting is, you know, that as soon as they get out there to the viewers, they're going to then transform into something else again. So it's always lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's smashing.
And how were these new products to work with?
Fantastic. Again, our products keep getting more and more professional looking, so all our finishes are more and more professional. And also current, so it helps us really stay on trend and stay up there in with the high street and what's on the catwalks, so it's brilliant.
And it is definitely catwalk, high street, high fashion,
Yeah.
but also totally wearable all at the same time.
Yeah, yeah. And what's the word I'm looking for? Able to be really big and bold, or really subtle and sweet.
Definitely,
Yeah, so.
100%. I feel like you've had a lot of kind of inspiration on these ones, because some of the motifs I've seen running through, in particularly headpiece designs, I've seen on catwalks of late.
Yeah. I mean, I've been looking at catwalks. I've been looking at we've had Fashion Week recently.
Yes.
And I've been looking at also wedding guests, because this is obviously wedding weekend, and we're looking at how we dress as a wedding guest. And these colours, these textures and patterns of flowers and things are all really bang on trend.
They truly are. And ladies and gentlemen, we have those brand new products coming up for you. And in the second kit, we've gone just astonishing catwalk but wearable pieces. So you have got loads to look forward to today. It is our sensational spring wedding fair today, and it is the final day of our wedding fair. Feel free to text us in today. Yesterday we had wedding disasters. Today, what should we hear about today? Keepsakes. What about keepsakes? Because I think a lot of the time with weddings, you will keep little pieces that either are little trinkets that maybe you were given as a bridesmaid, or maybe, weird trinkets. I like that, weird trinkets. I'll be honest with you, that's just reminded me. I have got something, a keepsake, from my friend's wedding that was in November. And it's a biscuit in the shape of a leaf. And I've just kept it because I really like the look of this biscuit. I won't be eating it now, but I've just got it in like a little memory box, a biscuit, just a leaf-shaped biscuit. I know, strange. So let us know that. Oh, let's have texting as well for the youngers, because it's Sunday, so it's family day, isn't it? If you've got anyone in your family who's, let's say, under 18, I want to hear about their themes. What would their themes for the wedding be if they were to have a wedding in the future? I would love. What do you think Tom's would be?
Doctor Who.
Doctor Who theme.
I don't even have to think about it.
Really?
Yeah, that's why I would never let him write into that show.
Doctor Who theme wedding. I love that idea.
He would definitely be a Dalek as well.
Would he?
Yeah, or he would probably be the Doctor, actually.
Just coming up the aisle as a Dalek. I love that. Do feel free to text us in 60777, so text through a JM studio. I want keepsakes or trinkets that you've got, even if they're a little bit weird. And I'd love for all of the under 18s, if you've got any in your household, what would their dream theme wedding be? Feel free to text in today. We're going to get loads of texts in. Okay, I've got too much coming up to mention. I really do. One thing that I think, for me, the wedding fair has been waiting for. Look at these sensational brand new pearls. Coming up at 2:30, ladies and gentlemen. They're absolutely massive, aren't they? Luxury size pearls that are on the massive increase at the moment, price point wise. I've got some brand new ins. I've got this sensational strand, which I am absolutely dying to give you the last chance opportunity. This is the last type of its kind we have in the vault. No more of these do we have. If you want to get your hands on the top grade Colombian emerald, you are in the right place here today. The last few of these, we have nothing else like this in our vault at all. If you want to get your hands on it today, it could be your last chance. Colombian emerald, wow. It's just the queen of all gemstones at the moment, the queen of its type, truly is. Okay, let's get started, shall we? We're going to start off the show with labradorite, and we are going to be bringing it to you in, hang on, sorry, it's behind me, in beautiful rounds, really sensational rounds. You've got some big pieces of labradorite here, ladies and gentlemen, and I've got to say that for me, this is going to be one of those base tones you'll probably be wearing quite a lot throughout the year. Big, bold pieces. Look at the carat weight on those, ladies and gentlemen. 280 carats worth. Now, when we talk about carats, we're talking about the amount of which you're getting. Yes, you have noticed it. This is graded. This is a graded labradorite. Generally, we will not get our gemstones graded. Why? Because at the quantities in which we purchase it, generally, if we were to get the small portions that we kind of purchase graded, it would take your price up dramatically. I'm talking about a 25% to 45% increase on every single strand. That's kind of how we'd have to balance it out, just because we get small quantities. This we bought with our affiliated channels, and because of that, they will have got a selection of rough, we will have got a selection of rough, and they, because they get larger quantities, we'll time and time again on large quantities get them graded, and ours was in with that. So this is a graded. As you can see there, you can see you've got A grade labradorite here. When you've got a graded labradorite, that means if you're going to get it valued, if you're going to get it looked at, they're going to look at a few things. They're going to look at the grading, they're going to look at the amount of it you've got, and here you've got mammoth 280 carats worth of grade A labradorite. Treat yourself to it whilst you can. If you've got no graded gemstones in your collection, or if you're not sure, always make sure you're treating yourself as well, if you can, to the authenticity. Don't need 25p extra. Call the call centre, they'll help you out. Your price point today on your grade A labradorite is rolling down. There's no need to roll this down. And like I say, if we ever do decide to kind of get larger quantities of things and we do go and get them graded, you will be expecting that price increase per strand. But because we got this done with our affiliated channels, we've kept to that lower price point that you expect from us here at Jewellery Maker. To get your hands on graded gemstones at $9.95 has got to be a total treat. And we all know that Gemma makes and creates and sells her jewellery in a number of different ways, a number of different guises. For you, when you're selling jewellery that is graded, is that going to take kind of place in the price point you sell that on?
I definitely think so, yeah. I mean, always is on quality. So if I've got, you know, a great quality piece, but what would be nice now is to actually know, because I don't know what the grading is, as you know, I'm not a jewellery professional, so it would be nice to be able to say, actually, this is a grade whatever, or a grade A, you know. And I have got pieces of labradorite that are grade A, and I do always take pride in saying, well, this is, you know, a grade A.
Absolutely.
That's why it's so beautiful.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing I would say as well is, when you're shopping around online, always please be careful, because I know full well when we do our research online that people can say next to it, you know, grade AAA, grade A, or whatever. If you are purchasing from those, and do feel free to, always ask for their authenticity from it, because when we give you the authenticity, then we can. But actually, technically, they can just give it that title. I mean, it's unethical, and it totally is, I think, anyway. We wouldn't do it here at Jewellery Maker, but certain places do that. They give it a grading to what they would think, so if they were to look at it, but it technically hasn't actually been through those extra kind of grades, those extra elements of extra elements of checking, let's say. Hi ladies, my son is 26 and he wants to get married at Chester Zoo, his favourite place as a child. Deb, now, can I just say, I live around the corner from the zoo, and if he were to get married at the zoo, just give me a little message and I would be more than pleased to turn up. I live so close to the zoo, I like this. I live so close to the zoo that I can hear the animals at night. So at night time you'll hear, and I'm never really sure what it is, I think it might be the rhinos or maybe the lions sometimes. I can definitely hear the lions roaring sometimes, but you hear this at night. A lot, in particular at this time of year. I'm that close. I used to work at the zoo as well, Deb. I was head elf at the zoo, I was. And it's about a 4-minute walk, So Deb, just let him know if he's getting married. I'm happy to be there. I love that. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I'd love to get married at the zoo.
Yeah. I always used to say I'd like to get married at Prinish Abbey. It's so beautiful, and there's white peacocks, and it just looks amazing.
Oh wow!
So that was somewhere. Yeah.
That'd be beautiful,
yeah,
wouldn't it?
It's really gorgeous. There's deer walking around everywhere, and
oh, that's my idea of a wedding.
Yeah,
that is.
Really pretty.
Oh, so pretty. I love that, Deb. Do feel free to keep your text coming in 60777. Dream theme of wedding, in particular for those young adults, young people, and also any keepsakes you've got. Any little keepsakes you've kept that maybe are a bit strange or a little bit quirky, or just things that you love and you've been given. Wedding disaster keepsake. My wedding bouquet. I wanted to dry the flowers. Should have gotten those beads to dry them out, but no, they died a death. Oh no, that's sad.
That is sad.
I'd love that you purchase your bouquet and you think, I'm spending a little bit more on this, but it's so beautiful, I'm going to save it forever, and then you just forgot to dry them out. You remember you used to dry flowers in the Yellow Pages?
Yeah. In the airing cupboard.
Yeah, in the airing cupboard. And you'd just have to wait weeks, didn't you?
But is it lovely? Because I used to do that a lot when I was a child. And about 3 weeks ago, I took a poem book out of the shelf and opened it up. And I probably haven't read it since I was little. Yeah. I was reading one for Tom. And I took it out, and there's a flower that I'd pressed in there. And it was so lovely to find. It's really, you know, and then you have all those memories that go with it. So it's lovely.
Isn't that fantastic?
Yeah.
Oh, I love that idea. Well done to everyone who got your hands on these. Okay, yawl. I have never yawled before. Even when I used to work in America, I was never a yawler. Anyway, hello everyone. How do you feel about getting involved in the kits? I'm going to walk past these heads quite far away because they're that dreaded material I don't like, but slowly, so that you can just take in the wonderment that is these headpieces. They are just phenomenal, Gem.
They were so lovely to make. And quick. I did all of them in one day.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, and
it was really quick.
There isn't just these ones. You know, we've obviously got the other headbands, but there is some over here. If I could just grab them.
Yeah, some that we didn't have enough heads.
We ran out of the heads, but look at these.
So that's a really subtle one, a bit, you know, if you're wearing something quite a bit more androgynous maybe.
And I love the hair bow ones.
Yeah, they were sort of a last minute. They're just really cute for the little ones.
Aren't they adorable?
Yeah, really, really sweet.
Aren't they sensational?
You
and
do
look, you've got the
matching bows for your shoes.
Oh, I think that's gorgeous. And I really like that. A lot of the time now, I've found that at weddings, sometimes you'll get the bridesmaids in the same dress but in different colours.
All different colours. Yeah, that's really popular at the moment. That's it. And these are perfect because they all tone so well together. They're such pretty colours.
Yeah. I just think it's phenomenal. It really is a gorgeous collection. We're going to start off, there are the kits in 2 parts. You will have noticed the 3 parts, sorry. You will have noticed the brand new hairbands, and there are brand new extras as well. But first off, I'm going to start with all of the gems and the wire. Let's start off with the gemstones,
yes,
okay?
Go on.
Okay, we'll start off with the gemstones. How did you feel when you saw this big pop of colour?
Wow, I love colour, and I love them all mixed up like that.
Yeah.
But everything else was so organised and separated into colours. I actually did separate them down, so you actually get these lovely sort of tonal, but you know, sets of colours, which is really nice as well. So if you don't want to use them fun and funky like this, you can actually separate them and get some lovely tonal, quite fluid pieces.
I really like that. It's almost like making your own bead scoops in a way, isn't it?
Yeah, it was really nice. It was really nice to do that. I actually enjoyed sorting them out as well.
Yeah.
I felt all Mark Smith.
Oh, did you? Felt all organised. I've got these large, beautiful, multicoloured magnesites here. They are really eye-catching. They are centre-drilled slices, as you can see. And you'll notice that they are all quite quirky and unusual in their shape, but they are all described as 6-sided. So you may well get the different angles, but you will have that beautiful look on each. So it gives you a lot of surface area because they are the slices, which means you really get that kind of interest of the texture inside.
Yeah, you do. And you can flatten them out and use them like buttons as well. So make flowers with them, in quite interesting shaped flowers, which you'll see in some of the pieces.
Definitely.
Or you can have them like that. But can you imagine when you spread them out, they go on for miles. If you use them flat, you've probably got about 3 metres worth there.
Wowzers. Because they are so big and bold, but drilled at the finest point. I've then got the wheels, let's say, of them as well in that multicoloured strand. 80 carats worth on these ones. Really nice and delicate, but still with that impact of colour. I imagine that with these ones, they'll create a really nice look alongside the textured. And because they are the same gem and in the same range of colours, they work together effortlessly, don't they?
Yeah, they work great. If you just wanted to restrand these two and wear them as a piece of jewellery, they would look great as spacers, just to spread those chunky ones out a little bit more. And then you get 2 necklaces from that, or a necklace and a bracelet and earrings to match as well.
So they go really far. And then a stunning, pure as you like, white pearl strand. You've got your wonderful shell pearls here in the 8mm rounds. Now these are, of course, giving a real nod to the true wedding colours.
That's it. They're the classics, aren't they?
They really are.
They are the classics, and I just love those. So, if you're going for tradition, you can't beat just a pearl.
Yeah.
You just can't beat it.
No.
And the shell pearl is perfectly round. It's completely uniform, so you can really do some very symmetrical designs and structured designs with those as well.
Yeah, which is a nice juxtaposition actually between those slices that we've got. So those are your strands, ladies and gentlemen. And then I'm going to bring to you the hair combs, which I feel like we haven't seen properly in quite some time. The quality of these, I think, is sensational. Well-known crafting stall that I always nosy in. I saw a set of these, £1.50 for one. It was, ladies and gentlemen. This is something which, for me, is really great quality. They are metal, which you don't always find. I've seen a lot of plastic, but not that many metal. The great thing about it is, of course, you can use it as is meant to be, your hair comb. It's got that wonderful rounded edges to them, so they don't snag in your hair. But also they are metal, so you can actually reshape them. You can use the prongs in different directions to create, flower shapes, for example, and use them as bases. They are great quality, do you think?
They are. Yeah, they're brilliant. You can't beat them. They're really great. And of course, when you're wiring onto something, it is always nice to wire them into another metal, because they can slip on plastic. But they've definitely got their uses, and like you said, they're versatile, not just combs.
Yeah, so much more you can do with those. Speaking of versatility, I've got your standard wire here as well. We've got the copper core wire, but then we've got genuine plating over the top of this. That means you've got real precious metal over the top. 10 metres worth of your 0.8 and 10 metres worth of your 0.4. So you've got the more structural, but you've also got the more delicate. Perfect, of course, for the movements that you would look for in the fascinator, but also a great way to attach the fabrics to the headbands and to the extras treats. Now, tell us, please, about this. This is exciting. Take a little look at these for me. I've got a big range of them, as you can see. 10 metres worth on each spool. This is your multicoloured, silk-covered copper wire, and it's in your 0.5. So, basically, it does what it says on the tin. You've got that copper core at the centre, and then you've got that fabric which effortlessly moves across it. How are these to work with, please?
It's just fantastic. It's just like using wire, so it's the same as using wire. You use it exactly the same way, use the same tools, the same techniques, except it's covered in silk. So it's lovely to have that matte finish on your wire work, and it's lovely to have the coloured, all the lovely colours as well. And, you know, in with the textiles and fabrics, it works really well, because you haven't, when you're using a really soft fabric, sometimes the stark difference between a metal and a fabric.
You're right, yeah.
So actually it makes everything work together really well. So
it just feels beautiful, that silkiness you can feel. Has it still got the same sort of malleability we would hope for and expect from an unusual wire?
Exactly the same. It's in fact it's on par with our softest of wires.
Oh,
so you know, our new soft wires, it's on par with those in terms of how it works. But the other thing with it is it's got more grab, because you know it's a coarser surface. It's not a smooth surface. It's smooth, but not slippy smooth.
Yeah.
So when you're wrapping into fabrics, it you know, holds onto it much better, much easier.
I think it's
fantastic.
Just gorgeous.
Yeah.
And in the pieces you can see how beautifully it's been used. You've got that beautiful emerald green, you've got that popper pink sapphire, you've got that deep black onyx look, you've got the lavender amethyst colour, you've got that perfect white pearl colour, and then you've got that ruby red as well. Every single one of these pieces you've used this in. Is that how versatile it is?
Yeah, it's just, it is. You can't say anything more. It is just use it exactly as you would a wire.
Yeah.
You know, so it's lovely.
It's just stunning. It really, really is. And using it also in the likes of my hairpiece that you can see here in a totally different way to just kind of, obviously you've gone for the tendrils, the sprigs. With this one, completely different.
Yeah, that one, I wanted something more of a skull cap, you know, sort of closer to the head, more 1920s style, and a bit more modern maybe, you know, a bit more edgy, so it works really well like that too.
It's just gorgeous. So let's get your pricing for this kit, shall we? Brand new products, lots of great gemstones, wire with silk, and your hair comb should be, we're rolling it down, should have been almost £58. Great price already. But at £34.95, that is something special. You're right.
Yeah, fine.
You didn't expect that, no?
No. I thought about it for a second, it didn't affect me, and then all of a sudden I thought, hang on, that's brilliant.
For the amount you're getting in here, massive, over £22 saving you've got on this, okay? Don't forget, you're getting 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 metres worth of wire that's covered in this luxurious silk, brand new, never seen this collection before, ladies and gentlemen, this selection of it, and all of those massive carat weights of your gemstones. You get the extra wire that is silver, genuine silver plated, and 5 of those hair combs as well at £34.95. That is something special. It really is something very special indeed. So treat yourself to these whilst you have the opportunity to do so. I wish I could say I had 104 of these, but I simply do not. So do check out those baskets as quickly as you can at £34.95. Very, very special indeed.
Mate, brilliant price.
Didn't expect that, no?
I didn't, no. I didn't. And you can see how much I've got left over as well when we come to do, well, all this in my tray that you can see is all left from the kit.
All left over.
So that it goes such a long, long way too.
It's just astonishing. It really is. Do treat yourself to those whilst you have the opportunity to do so, because load you with it in your basket. I honestly, you're kind of the final countdown now. You've got to move that quick as you can to be able to own this today, because as you can imagine, with amazing piece like this, such a very, very popular collection. So do be as quick as you can, ladies and gentlemen. I've got more treats coming up for you, the likes of your headbands and that fabric, but we're going to wait for the phone lines to calm down a little bit, and we're going to dive in to a little bit of a step-by-step tuition. Do not forget, everybody, that when you're treating yourself to this, it will be with you in a few days. £2.95 postage packaging has got nothing to do with how much you buy, the weight of which your pieces you purchase. It's just about the price from midnight till midnight. Doesn't matter if you buy one thing or 101 things. £2.95 is your postage and packaging, and we are going to have some free tuition now. So don't forget, if you purchase this kit today, make a little note of the date so you can refresh your memory. If you need to, watch this back on YouTube at your leisure. What are we going to start with looking at?
I'm going to show you how to make the lily that's on the purple and pink headband there.
Fab.
I've shown you how to do the roses loads and loads and loads of times, so if you need a refresher, there is, it's on the DVD, the mesh DVD, and it's exactly the same technique I use with the mesh as I do with the fabric.
Fab.
So yeah, you can pick, I think it's on YouTube and everywhere, so you'll find it if you look for it.
Okay.
But I've never shown the lily before, and I think it worked really well with these lovely ribbons that we've got coming up.
I'm about to bring in those ribbons very soon.
I'll just show you how to do it. So what you need is we're going to have 5 petals. So we're going to cut 2 lengths that are going to double up to make 2 petals, so that will give us 4 eventually. And these are 7 centimetres long. Inches, sorry, 7 inches long.
Right.
And then one just over half that, so about 4 inches, okay? So that's, obviously we want 5 petals, so we're going to do 2 doubles and 1 single, okay?
Okay.
So the double one is going to look like this when we've done it. So we're going to have a length of our pink silk covered wire running through the centre, and it done up either side. So I'll just show you how to do that now. So what we do is got our 7 inches of ribbon cut, and then we're going to take a length of the pink silk covered wire, and we want it to be long enough to run along the centre, plus a good sort of 4 or 5 inches, 4 inches either side, let's say 4 inches either side, to do our wrapping and finishing for the tips of the petals. So just cut that down. So I missed what gauge this was, because obviously
0.5.
So the inside, is that the inside?
Yeah, the inner. But then obviously you've got the fabric over the top of it.
So with the fabric, I'd say that this looks, the appearance is about 1 mil.
Yeah, you're right.
So it's, but it's got all that malleability of a 0.5, so it's brilliant. Okay, you sometimes, when you cut this wire, if you've never worked with it before, you sometimes get a little bit of it pulling off at the ends. And I'll show you why that's useful in a minute. But if you want to tidy up these ends, if you take either your, a naked flame or thread zapper, and just singe those edges in, it will neaten them up and keep them nice and tight and tidy.
Fab.
Okay. Right, so we're going to lay that across the centre and leaving our ends free to do some wrapping, and then we're going to gather, let me bring it into the centre a bit more, we're going to pinch the fabric around the wire. So just pinch and hold. Okay, so it's gathered around the wire. And then we're going to take the wire where the end of the fabric comes, double it back on itself, and pinch it so we've got it doubled back, and then pinch the wire that's doubled and the fabric all together between your fingertips. Okay, and then this wire, the shorter one that you've doubled back, is then going to wrap around the end. Now you can see, that's not even been wrapped around one entire time, you can see the grip on that is great because there's no slipping.
No.
Like I was describing, it really grabs.
So it means you're not fighting against it as much.
Exactly. So then we're going to swap our hands over so we're holding below there, and we're going to wrap up towards the tip. So there's where it's folded over inside. You can see it. And we're going to wrap up along that piece of wire till we reach the tip. So we just wrap round and round. Because it's a 0.5, you can do this very easily with your hands. So go all the way to the end. You get this little tufty bit left at the end, and you can use some scissors or your snips just to snip that off. again, if you wanted to tidy those little fuzzy ends up, you can, again, pass that through a naked flame or your thread zapper. And then when we come to the very tip, we just continue turning that round and pinching it in until we get it very fine at the tip, and then trim it off. Okay, so then we've got that point there. So then we're going to come up to the other end, swip it round and do exactly the same. So holding the wire in the centre, gather the ribbon up around the wire, and at this point you just want to check that it's not too loose, so there's a tendency for it to become a bit taut, so we just pull it along until it's sort of all in line. We don't want too much of this puckering.
No.
Okay, so pull it up, keep it pinched together, again double the wire back on itself, pinch the tip, and then take this piece of wire and work it back up along to the tip. So round and round and round. I'm pulling quite tight to get it nice and, you know, holding on nice and tight, but it isn't taking much force. Okay, so we'll pinch that in, and again, we can zap those ends off to make them tidier if we need to.
Extremely low quantity on that kit on your screen right now, extremely low. For that reason, I'm really going to have to quickly bring you these stunning ribbons that we're working with right here in this design. You're going to need these to finish off the design, because obviously the kind of texture of them, the colour matching even with the likes of this new wire is just so phenomenal. How were these to work with? The feel of them, they feel like nothing I've ever felt before.
They're like, they feel like, well, you would imagine angel wings to feel like this.
They really do.
Lovely, aren't they? They're so gorgeous, and because of that pattern, that sort of stranding running through them, they've got that natural sort of veining for flowers.
Yeah.
But also they crease and pleat easily because of that as well. They're just gorgeous. The iridescence is beautiful. They're just beautiful.
It's phenomenal. It feels absolutely sensational
Sort
against
of
the skin.
Springy as well. When you, so the bows and things stay really puffy, and yeah, they squidge and spring. They're lovely.
But that means it keeps your designs looking nice and full and flourished, and not when things go a little bit, a bit of a limp squib. You know, they go nice and that's what you say, a limp squib.
Do you?
Yeah, limp squib. No, it's squib, not squid. Squib. I'm not sure what a squib is, but I'm sure that's the saying. But then again, I thought the world was your lobster for about 23 years. I've also got for you not just that gorgeous pink colour, but also that wonderful ivory tone. I mean, it is an ivory, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's almost silvery as well.
Yeah, again, because they're iridescent.
Yeah, so, you know, it works because of that ivory tone, works beautifully with the gold.
Yeah.
But because of that silvery iridescence, it works beautifully with silver too.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's a win-win.
It's really stunning. Big amount on these, by the way. You're looking around about 2 meters on each of them. I've got that really mystical blue colour. It's out of this world, isn't it?
It really is, yeah.
I'm then bringing to you this colour, which is just bang on trend at the moment, one of my absolute favourite colours. You've got this beautiful purple, but it's almost sort of mauvey in a strange sense, isn't it?
Yeah, mystic.
Plummy.
Mystic plum.
Mystic plum.
It's mystic plum,
Mystic
that's what it
plum
is.
We've got here for you. Is it just me, or are these seem quite double-sided?
Yeah, but just looking at that, do you know, I never noticed it, but when you turn that over, it's much more pinky, isn't it, on the other side?
Yeah, if I show you that, you should be able to see. Can you see it's a little bit more pinky on that side? Really nice. Love those ones. And then finally, I've got for you.
I love that one. I don't know quite why, but I don't know what it is above the others, but I just love that colour. It's sort of vintage.
It's very vintage without being over the top.
Yeah.
It's a gentle, almost blush. It reminds me of a sunstone.
Yes, yeah, it does. Or
like a peach moonstone look.
Yeah, very much so.
That is just phenomenal. You've got to get these home to try them out. You truly do, because it's just unlike anything I've seen before. Really good thickness on these as well. You've got 60 mil, which means you've got 6 centimetres at this length here. 2 meters worth on each. Your price point today, ladies and gentlemen, for the 5 separate colours is rolling down. Now, bear in mind, we don't have to roll this down because it's something you haven't seen before. It would be okay for us to keep it at that price point, but we are treating you today. Normally, when you purchase these, you'll have to buy them individually lovely and you won't be getting a discount like that, I can tell you. £16.95. One of the lowest prices for a kit component I've seen in absolutely ages. In particular for the amount you're getting and the quality of this stuff.
Yeah, the quality is fantastic. It is really gorgeous. It doesn't fray either, you know, and you can singe the ends so that you can make shapes and keep them in that shape.
Yeah.
Just brilliant.
This is going to sell out soon. I'm so sorry. It's going to sell out really, really, really soon. Sorry about that. Because of that, I am going to have to move on. I mean so soon that we're actually over allocated now. I mean so soon that I'm actually in single figures for that. I did have a decent quantity, but you all saw it fell in love, and you're going to fall in love with this next section as well. So I'm really quickly going to bring on for you here the headbands themselves.
I am chuffed to bits with those.
Are you?
I am.
Tell me why.
Because it just takes so much work out of things for you.
Yeah.
And they're so beautifully done. The colours are gorgeous. They sit nicely on your head. They're not tight.
No,
they're
really comfortable.
They're really comfortable to wear, and the colours are lovely. They're just lovely.
It goes immaculately with the ribbon and with that new wire that we've got.
The goldy one
as well. There you go.
Yeah. Look at those. They're just gorgeous, and they're so silky. When you wrap into them, the wire hugs into those crevices of the silk wrap around them. I can't rave about these enough. They're absolutely gorgeous, top quality.
They are brilliant. There's no movement on that fabric at all.
No.
They are in place, and you're getting a mammoth amount of them. You really are. 15 of them in total. We haven't seen these before. You can see how well they go with the ribbons you've just bought, how perfectly they go with this new wire collection. This is your new wire that has the silk over the top of them. Take a little look at those as a collection. That just works, doesn't it? What's my quantity like on these headbands? I've got just over 100, but only just, in fact, under 100. Now, your price point today on 15 of these stunning new headbands is rolling down. Even at that price, phenomenal deal, phenomenal deal. Really phenomenal deal. Because if you think about it, let me just, the plain metal ones I found in that well-known store for £2.50 alone the other day. These have got extra work on top of them, and at that price point, still working out lower price than just the plain ones. That's fantastic. Such a deal, isn't it?
It really is, yeah. It really is. It's fantastic. It's just great.
It's an amazing, amazing quality, stunning look. I just like them like this as well.
Yeah.
For little, you know, days out, days down to, you know, the sun's coming out, days spent picnicking, you know.
It's exciting.
It is exciting, isn't it? It's just around the corner. We were saying before, I can feel summer in the air. That is a sensational deal, it really is. 15 of them. You are going to get this delivered, and you are going to have such a whale of a time with these. You truly, truly are. £24.95. When they sell out, we will bring the kit back on with that new wire and the ribbon and the silk over the top of that wire and all the gemstones, etc. Because we've got over 40 of these in baskets, and you've got to be quick on them. Okay, Jen. Okay. So we're on the lily. We finished off the lilies with the petals that we needed.
Yeah. So what I've done then is that, do you remember that half one I cut? That was the
4-inch one.
About 4 inches, yeah. So all I've done is at the one end done exactly the same as I did and showed you before, and the other end is loose at the moment. And all I'm going to do is pinch that into position, okay, and hold it in place, and then I'm going to take these petals here. And so this isn't going to be secured. If you want to secure this because you don't want to hold on to it whilst we do the next bit, then just use some of your 0.4 that you get in the kit too, just to hold it in place.
Okay.
But then we're going to lay these in like so that we've got our 5 petals. Okay, so this one, this half length one, I've left a really long tail, so that's going to form the stem and what's going to help bind everything together as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is bind the half one, to one of the double ones. So find the center point, lay it underneath, take the tail of the silk wire and wrap it into position. So as we do that, just make sure it's centered. As we wrap it in, we're also going to catch that silk all pinched together as well. Okay, so that's just secured that into place. So you can go around in whichever direction you want to get that secured in. And we'll take the fourth one and we'll tie the third one, sorry, and we'll tie that in as well, and that's then going to give us our 5 petals. So I'll pop that underneath, make sure it's sort of centered, I take the wire around and just catch it in place. Now it looks a bit like a dragonfly now, doesn't it? But when we spread this out, we should have 5 arms all the same length. Now I think I've made this one quite a bit bigger than the one in the headband. So you can alter the size, you can make really small ones. And because the ribbon's so versatile, if you want to make really tiny ones, you can cut it sort of in half or cut the width down and make them even smaller.
Clever.
So now we're going to just take this wire and to make sure that all the petals are evenly spaced out. If we take this around and in between all the petals, so we're just going round and going in between a different petal each time, that's going to make sure that they're all splayed out nicely as well. Okay, so that's that there. So we'll leave that to the side just for a minute, and we're going to now make the stamens, and the ones that's sprig out from the centre.
Beautiful.
They're going to look like this.
And this is using that silk-covered wire
This
again?
is using the silk-covered wire, yeah. And the beauty of this is, in my set, which that's why I was pinching that one, my purple is finer than the rest of the colours.
Oh, is it?
But I'm not sure whether it's the same in the kit. But, however, it doesn't matter
Totally
because this wire goes through all of these
Oh, little gems.
It,
That's
it goes
really
through
good.
all the holes in these gems, which is
Wow.
great. So what I've done for the stamen, if I just take a couple more of these, what I've done for the stamen is I've used the tiny little tube, are they called Heshy beads?
Magnesites. Yeah, I think we call them wheels for this.
Wheels. So I've taken all the little wheels and I've taken a nice long length, it's about 40, 50 centimetres of wire. I take my first wheel, thread it onto the centre of that wire and double it over. Give it a squeeze either side to get it lining up. And then I usually put my finger in between like that, so it helps me with the twist. So my finger's in there, I'm holding the wires in my hands, and then you can hold onto the little bead and twist it. And this is the tiara twist technique that you'll see in all the starter DVDs, the Get Started booklet and things.
If you're a beginner, it's a great technique to learn, and you can see that you can use it for so many different designs.
So that's that one in place. So when I want to add another one to make a cluster, all I do is take either side of these tails, we've got a nice long tail left, thread on another one, and thread it down to the length of the twist you want. So if I want it just a little bit bigger than that, because I always make them slightly different in size. So you can see I want that to sit there. Double it over, bring those tails back together again, pinch the the little wheel at the top, so it's like that, and then again hold it and twist it. And you can do as many of those as you like. So if you want lots and lots and lots, you need a really nice long length of wire to start with to save adding them in. But I can go from there and add as many as my wire will allow. Okay? So once you've got enough, I've got 5 or 6, I've got 6 on this one. I've got something that looks a bit like this, all different lengths, and I've got 2 tails. Because I've alternately gone to either side of my wire when I cut it, I've still got 2 tails that are equal length at the back, at the bottom. So I'm going to take those, I'm going to thread them and hold them into position in the middle of the lily. Okay, I pull them nice and tight in, I turn it over at the back, and then I'm going to just twist those into place, just so to secure them. And then I'm going to use those tails again to come up and in between each of the petals, just to bring some of that colour into the middle and help splay these tendrils out as well. Okay, so they're coming around and around in the centre. It's tying all those colours together by giving us a bit more colour in the centre. Okay, so once you've got enough wraps around and you're happy, you've layered up that colour in the middle, you then take it to the back again and twist to keep it secure. Okay, now I'm not going to need these tails again. You might want to keep hold of these tails to help attach it. It depends how you're going to attach it and what tail you've got left. But I still got this pink one, so I don't really need this one. So to get rid of those, I'm just going to cut them down the end of my twist, and then use my round nose pliers just to grab onto the tip there, just roll it so that it almost creates a hook. And as I roll that hook in, you can see it just catch, I just allow it, just guide it to catch underneath one of the other wires, and as you roll it should just sit in underneath. Okay, and then we'll get that out the way. We've got no hard surfaces then. To flatten it down, because this is going to sit on the bed of your either your comb or your hairband, I just generally take the flat part of my pliers and just give it a good press, and that presses it all in nice and flat.
Fantastic.
Right, turn it over. The flower looks a little bit bedraggled at the moment, but this is when we're going to start shaping it and forming it. So manipulate it so all your wires are sort of facing up and your ribbon is underneath, and then we just bend these petals down individually, splay out the wire, splay out the ribbon, and this ribbon works perfectly for lilies because those lines really do mirror the lines that you get in a lily, on a lily petal.
Over allocated now on the kit that's currently on your screen. That means that I have more people with it in their baskets than I have quantity, so it is fastest finger first between about sort of 17 or 18 of you now. Loads of messages in as always for Jem. Maureen, my darling hero Gemma, she never lets me down. Her designs are always out of this world.
Oh, thanks, Maureen.
They are though, aren't they? They are. We come to expect excellent from Jem, but I think we all get shocked every time we kind of see the new designs, don't we? Thank you for that, Maureen. Loads of messages coming in for you. We'll read through a few more of them in a bit.
That is lovely, thank you. Okay, so I'm just having a bit of trouble, so just in case you come across this problem, where I've wrapped it in, I've got a bit of trouble where my wire wants to be underneath. My ribbon is sort of twisted. So we're just going to have to use a bit of brute force, I'm afraid, and just twist it round. If you find you can't get it to stay or twist through, then just take your tail wire, twist it, and then wrap it again just to hold it so that it's upright. That one actually moved when I told it to, which doesn't usually happen. People don't usually do what I tell them to, but it worked then. Okay, so you can see our lily is taking shape. And that actually looks quite a lot like a lily, I think. We can then just manipulate these so they're poking up to the sky. And that would just sit on a headband, and it's nice when you've got other flowers around it to sort of help lift those petals up, those flowers up, but it's actually really quite lifelike, isn't it?
It is absolutely astonishingly so.
And that lustre on it is just beautiful. I think it really works.
It looks like the most majestic lilies you could ever purchase.
Yeah. So I'm going to just, and then to attach it to a headband, it's just really quite simply laying it into position, taking your tail that you've made and wrapping it on. Now that's 2 wraps.
Wow.
That's not going anywhere, and that is due to the silk on the wire and the silk on the headband. You would never get away with that with just your bare metals.
Wire, no.
If you want to make that doubly secure, you can come up again in between the petals like I have before, and that will really help keep it exactly where you put it. But that's it really, and you can make lots of those and put them on. I mean, I'm thinking now it would be great to do some in white as well, some of that in that lovely, not white, that sort of ivory colour too.
Yeah.
And put them all in. And that is as simple as that.
How simple, stunning, elegant is that? We've had so many text messages in for you, Jem. Let's have a look at a few of them now, shall we? Loads of you have been texting in, which is always wonderful to see. So beautiful, Gemma. Aspirational designs. I have another look at how you did, and hopefully I might make something like it, says Liz.
Yeah, go for it. And maybe combine your wire mesh as well with this. I mean, you're going to get some lovely textures then as well.
Love that idea. Tanya's saying, OMG, Gemma, they are amazing. I love everything bridal. Big smiley face. They are stunning, aren't they? And I love that about Gemma's pieces, how, as Liz so well put it, they are aspirational, but the techniques you use aren't anything that I would look at and go, well, I'm not even going to attempt that because I won't be able to do it. They look quite easy. You almost take it down to basics, the technique, and get this outstanding look.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of it. And like I said, it was a day, and for me, that's very quick.
That is really.
And I've made, I think, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 headpieces in a day.
in a day.
So
that is,
it just shows you, and that's doing the washing and cooking the tea and
yeah, exactly,
doing a school run in between. So you know, they really come together really quickly, very satisfying.
I think they're phenomenal. Loads of people messaging in about this. Just to let you know, just to reiterate, we've sold out of the elements of the kit, bar the first one, because we had a better quantity of this. Real quick recap now. Wire, standard wire, you've got copper wire in the 0.8 and copper in the silver, or both of them 0.4. You've then got, matching that silver, the hair combs themselves, 5 of which you get of these. Really great quality that you can see there, very, very sturdy. I've also got in here for you those stunning, pure as you like, white shell pearl. I've got the magnesite in these 2 shapes, those stunning slices, and those wonderful, wonderful kind of wheel-like shapes, both center drilled. And I've got that brand new wire at the center. Silk, ladies and gentlemen, over the top. It is coming in that gorgeous emerald green, your lavender amethyst tone, that spinel black, you've got that pink sapphire colour, your bright red, and that purest pearl white as well here. All of that, all of it, for just $34.95.
It's fantastic. You can have so much fun with these, really so much fun.
It is something very, very exceptional. And look, there's a mammoth amount here. There really, really is massive. I mean, you just look at it all. It goes on and on and on. It's just astonishing, it really is. We have got another little bit of a demonstration for you now, just whilst the last few of you are coming in and getting this kit. What are we looking at for this final section?
Just to go on from here, because obviously there are demos out there for the rose, but there were other elements I used in this piece, which were the little flowers. So I thought it'd be nice to show you how to create those flowers with the slabs, because you might not necessarily think that they would work, but they do, and they look really organic and quite. You know they're gemstones, but they I don't know, they're nicer than a uniform flower somehow.
No, I know what you mean.
So I'll just quickly show you how to put those together. Right, so I'm going to take some more of the wire. By the way, all this wire is what I had left. Yeah.
That's a big amount left. Huge
and then
amount.
the ribbon, I did use all the ribbon, because in the end I did the bows, apart from that length.
Wow.
So but it goes, you can see how far on it goes. Right. So let's take a length of my wire, and I'm going to start again with about 30 centimetres, 30, 40, go 40 to be on the safe side.
Okay.
Because we'll use the stem, so we want a bit of stem left over, because the stem's going to help us tie it into our headpiece.
Okay.
And if you want to make tendrils as well, then you can even use a longer length and use them to do other tendrils and other swirls and scrolls as well. So as before, I'm going to thread one of my pieces up onto the centre of my piece of wire, and it's up to you which bit of the petal you want outermost. So if you decide you want this edge on the outside, then fold your wire over to here, pinch together at the base, and like I said before, if I put my finger in the way, it helps guide where I want my twist. So I'm going to put my finger quite far up and then twist the gemstone just twice. Well, let's go 3 times to give us a little bit of a stem, and that will help our petals separate. And then we're going to pop on the next one. So we'll pop on another one. I've done 5 petal flowers on each of these. Just trim that down, I've got a ragged edge. So this one through. Nope, draw a hole on that one's not working. That's fine. You watch, I'm going to get problems now.
It's typical that, isn't it?
You can see it works in the other ones.
Yeah. We have had loads of messages in, just to let you know how you message in. It's 60777, so you text to a JM Studio. Don't forget, any comments or questions for Gemma. She's such a great teacher. And also, don't forget, we've had a text in. Any keepsakes from a wedding that maybe you've been to, even weird and wonderful ones like me and my strange old biscuit. Or if you've got anyone in your house at the moment, whether it be grandkids or godchildren or your own children, do feel free to ask them what their dream theme wedding would be. We've already had Doctor Who, and we've had the likes of Chester Zoo weddings as well, which is phenomenal. I'm so on board with that. I'm planning on going.
What would yours be?
What would mine be? Really good question. See, mine would be colour theme, I think. I'd have to work it around purple.
Purple.
Purple and silver.
Oh, it's like my mum.
I think it would be quite quirky. I think mine would be a little bit avant-garde, a little bit... almost like a Tim Burton film. Like a little bit like that. I think that's what mine would be.
I can imagine that.
Yeah. Aisha is saying, it's always lovely to see Gemma. Her designs are always unique and inspirational. Could you use the flowers for the bride's bouquet or for your table pieces?
Absolutely. Once you've got those flowers, you can put them in anything you want in the household, you know, in household flower displays or, table centres, definitely bouquets, hats.
Yeah.
All sorts. I think it's limitless, really. Yeah, go for it.
They'd be great, actually, as table centres maybe around, because of the wire, you can guide them around the likes of candelabras and things, couldn't you?
Yeah, for one of my mums, she bought a candlestick, a big candlestick for the church instead of having flowers. Yeah. She bought big candlesticks, and I used silk flowers and vines and things, and trailed those around, and it just looked beautiful.
Oh, stunning.
And she could keep them then as well. You don't have to dry them out.
Yes, or forget to, like we had earlier from Deb. The thing is, speaking of silk flowers, I love faux flowers and silk flowers, and I use them as you know, things around the house. Expensive though,
aren't they?
Really
they are really expensive. A good one.
A good one, yeah.
Because you can get, you know, really cheap ones, but they are.
For good ones, you're looking at £7-8 just for an individual sort of plume, really, aren't you?
Yeah,
and upwards. Tracy's saying, my 29-year-old daughter would be Disney theme. Disney have their own range of bridal gowns.
No.
No. I must admit, they are beautiful gowns. So let's see what happens. I didn't realise that.
Yeah, well, no, I didn't realise that either. But I did hear somebody, I think it was texting in the show the other day when I was watching, saying that the bridesmaids were all different Disney princesses. I thought that was lovely.
I think that is a great idea. Yeah. That's a brilliant theme.
I can imagine.
So I wonder if you'd get, like, you know, if you went to Cinderella, you'd get just the one glass slipper as well to sort of hobble down the aisle on.
But maybe your groom could bring you the other one.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Oh, I got really excited then. I even did a little. Did you see?
Did a little. I love that. Maybe you could hire a knight to come on a noble steed.
Well, but you want your knight to be your husband, wouldn't you?
True. Yeah, you don't want the hubby to be upstaged, do you?
Run away.
By a guy with a massive lance and horse.
Oh dear, or imagine if you were Sleeping Beauty and you could just lie on the aisle and wait for him to come and kiss you.
That'd be brilliant.
Oh, this is it.
That'd be great.
I need to get married really quickly.
Yeah, can we organise this, please? That sounds brilliant. I really like that idea. Or your husband could turn up as the Beast at the beginning. Oh. Just grow all his hair out, facial hair. Yeah. And then, like, when you place the rings on, someone just really quickly shaves him. That's a brilliant idea. Oh. That's a good one.
Shrek and Fiona.
Yes, Shrek and Fiona. That's a brilliant... Oh, there's loads we could do. If you would like your bridal party arranged by me and Gemma, just give us a text. We're here to help. We're here to help. Okay. We've placed all these gorgeous slices on to the wire. Thank you.
Becky's going to ream away whilst I show you this one. As you can see, I've put another 2 of these petals on, so I'll just show you how you add them in. So you saw I did the first one, twisted it down, and then the others added exactly the same way. You haven't missed anything. All you do is thread onto one of the tails that are remaining, bring it down so that you can see that it's splayed out about the same distance, and pull the 2 tails together like we did with the tiara twist. Hold them nice and firm, and then twist the petal like so. Okay, and then I always alternate so that I end up with my stems the same size. And then we'll put this last one on and give it a wiggle. If you singe these, you can see what's happening is as I try and push this down, this silk is sort of fraying open.
And that's why you'd singe it, is it?
That's why you'd singe it. It keeps it all in so that it goes through the beads nice and easily. But alternatively, you can have your handy Becky next to you, reaming beads for you.
That sounded like the wife of Handy Andy then, didn't I? He's the right tool. Get it? The handy Andy?
Okay, so
Clever
then
that.
the last one, the fifth
Okay.
one. Okay. Last time I was here, I ended up under the table laughing, and I'm not doing it again this time. I had coffee coming out my nose and everything. It was awful. Right, so we bend this back over into the centre, and then the last one this is, and give it a nice twist into place, and then we end up like this. So all we need to do now is position the wires so that they're both at the back, bring them up together, and you've got a little flower. If you want to, you can thread a centre on there. If not, we can just turn it round and then just twist the two tails together to make your stem. And then you can either wire this so that it sits on the headband itself, or if we make this twist nice and tight, it will make it really springy. And then if you wire it in, let's take this one again, we wire it in, we can have it sitting really proud and position it sort of sitting proud of the headband.
Gorgeous.
And position them wherever you want. Now I usually just pop loads of these in on long tails and then splay them out however it looks nice.
It gives loads of movement and really ties it all in, doesn't it?
Yeah. So there's a little flower as well. So that's all your sort of elements you need.
Those are your main components to create that stunning, stunning piece. Jem, just love them.
Good, I'm
and
glad.
so does everyone else at home. And if you want more inspiration, tell you what, Jem's with us for the long haul, and we are most certainly going to be having a little look at her amazing makes. Ladies and gentlemen, me, Jem, and the whole crew will be back after the break. We've got more deals and a stunner of a star by Zambian amethyst after this break.
The Jewellery Maker Wall of Fame is where you get to showcase your skills as a jewellery designer. Each week, one lucky entrant will win £100 credited to their account, and the runner-up receives £50. If you want to enter your design, just send a photo to studio@jewellerymaker.com, or you can post your photos to Jewellery Maker, Ivy House, Henley Road, Outhill, Studley, B807DU. Get making and good luck.
Sapphire is an incredibly important gemstone. It actually comes in a vast array of colours. I think commercially we always think of gemstones like sapphire as being blue, but it is available in pinks, yellows, greens, purples, and even vibrant tones such as orange. Sapphire itself is the birthstone for September, making it a really beautiful, unique gift if you want to personalise your collection. It's also 9 Mohs on the hardness scale, which means it's incredibly durable if you want to wear your jewellery pieces every day. Sapphire has been revered since ancient times for its beauty and its lustre. It's been used from the Middle Ages right through to modern day. Today's modern day piece in sapphire, which captures the nation's imagination, would be the engagement ring given to Princess Diana. That ring is now being worn by Kate Middleton, and we have seen a surge in people buying sapphire as the ultimate love gift.
Did you know that Jewellery Maker's phone number is free from a UK landline? Now you can spend those extra pennies on more shopping.
Get creative with Mark Smith with his Craft Fair DVD. Mark guides you through 6 sections of fascinating techniques that sell the best on his very own successful craft fairs. He concludes this DVD by sharing his own tips and hints that make his own stalls very popular. To get your hands on a copy of this fantastic DVD, contact our call centre on 0800 644 655. Get creative with Jewellery Maker.
These are absolutely exceptional. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not your everyday. This is not your everyday kettle of fish. This, ladies and gentlemen, is something to absolutely enjoy and behold. I'm just over the moon to be able to bring this to you. It looks sensational on this recording I've got running around on your screen right now. But ladies and gentlemen, when you see it in real life, you have got something to absolutely treasure. When I look at this, I think Cartier, I think Fabergé, I think most high-end couture jewellery lines in the world. That is sensational. This looks like the type of piece of the piece of jewellery you might see in the likes of Vogue, in your InStyle, in your Elle magazine, in the likes of those high-end, you know, Harper's Bazaar, those big high-end names that talk about fashion and value and beauty all in one fell swoop. I am absolutely over the moon to be able to bring to you one of the most high-end, exquisite gemstones I've ever been able to bring to you on a strand like this. For me, already, that is all I want. That is what I want right here. I want a bracelet that I stare at, that I fall in love with, that says beauty, value, and epic, epic quality time and time again. Ladies and gentlemen, this gemstone is used exclusively by Fabergé from this mine, from this location, and it has gone to whole new levels. Now, if you have never kind of heard about Zambian amethyst, let me just talk to you a little bit about it. The amethyst that we have here is mined by a very well-known group called Gemfields. And it is just phenomenal. What we have here is something which to me is just so eye-catching and is so revealed and has always been. However, it's gone to a whole new level with this new connection, with this new kind of work, with this new company, let's say. The fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, that I have here for you something that Fabergé works with exclusively and something that realistically has been, let's say, could have brought down to earth time and time again with very well-known celebrities. We've got in here something that Mila Kunis herself is the ambassador for, and she talks about how the Gemfield gemstones of Zambian amethyst, as this is something which she believes gives kind of confidence, it gives strength, it helps you think about kind of a life in the sense of longevity and in the sense of if you can own something spectacular, high-end quality, why on earth not? Gemfields themselves have had a very big auction relatively recently in Singapore, and something big has happened with this gemstone. Let me just show you here. It's an article written about this auction that took place in Singapore, and it was focusing with Gemfields. Gemfield auctioned off a lot of their lots, and don't forget, when you buy gemstones, most of the time, obviously, you buy from us, but when we buy a lot of gemstones and other people buy gemstones, whether that be your Boodles, whether that be your Cartier, whether that be your Michael Kors, or whoever it may be, they will tend to go to auction for this. So the mine owners, such as Gemfields, who own this gemstone, will auction off. They, Gemfields, who own this, will give a lot of their collection to Fabergé because it's their exclusive lot and their exclusive gemstone that they will use. Fabergé will only use this type of amethyst from Gemfields, as this is, or Zambian emerald from Gemfields as well, same company. So essentially they put it to auction, they say this is the lot, who wants it, and the price goes up and up and up. Now the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, that amethyst has had a massive increase at the moment, and you should be able to see it. I've got that silly thing at the side of the screen, hello. Just in this little section here, you'll be able to see that little section there, a little quote in this article. The amethyst auctioned realised an overall average value, and it is an increase compared to that of February 2015 of 144%. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is talking about this gemstone from this location and this company. It has seen a price hike from February last year of 144%. That means that anyone purchasing this now, anyone buying this now, will be paying that extra 144% on top of February last year. We're used to seeing price hikes like that only on the likes of your tanzanite, only on the likes of your ametrine. But this, ladies and gentlemen, from this location and this company and this mine of this gemstone has seen a 144% increase in price from February last year. Therefore, we should never be taking the price down. But we bought this 9 months ago, just over 9 months ago. And that means that when we bought this just over 9 months ago, we got it at that average price that you were expecting for 2015. This price point does not exist anymore in the market. This price point does not exist anymore in the trade. Gem fields for Zambian amethyst like this one has gone up in price, but we don't do that. Your price point today is going down. We should not be doing this. This is one of your last opportunities to own it at this price. If we're buying it right now, if we're buying Zambian amethyst right now, you want to bet your bottom dollar we're paying that extra 144%. £19.95 is exceptional. We're not going to be doing prices like this on Zambian amethyst. We're simply not. We have been seeing that price hike as well. 144% price hike on this gem from this location, from this company. Zambian amethyst has always been revered. It's always been much loved. But with a 144% increase, ladies and gentlemen, you want to bet your bottom dollar we're paying that extra, and you want to bet your bottom dollar that we're going to have to pass that extra money on. Of course we are. We're not going to buy something at a higher 144% rate and then sell it on for just an extra 100%. Are we? There's no chance that we are. Imagine right here, right now, 144% added on top of the price that you're seeing on the original price, of £25. I mean, that's the price point we need to start expect to be paying because we have to. So of course we have to pass that on. If we were to take a loss, then the fact of the matter is that we'd have to essentially, we wouldn't exist as a channel, would we, if we were making a huge loss on everything. So do make sure you're treating yourself to this whilst you can. Genuine gemstone used by Fabergé from this location. I mean, for me, it's just stunning. At that price, I would never expect it. Jem, what do you think of these, please?
I just think they're absolutely beautiful, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them in a jewellery shop window with a...
Me neither.
You know, a high three figures, sort of £200. They are exceptional, really, really stunning.
They are just phenomenal, aren't they?
I love how they tessellate.
And the way that they tessellate, the way that they move, that for me is the type of piece that I would honestly imagine seeing in the likes of Vogue, in the likes of your Harper's Bazaar, in the likes of, you know, your Tatlers, your really high-end magazines, where you see these celebrities with huge houses. You can imagine them wearing something like this, can't you?
Yeah, because it's subtle, but it's high impact, and you can just see the quality in it. It's absolutely beautiful.
It is truly sensational, ladies and gentlemen. Can I just say this is going to be one of your last opportunities to own this gemstone because my stock is incredibly low. We weren't able to buy 100 of these when they first came out of the mine. Boy, we wish we had. I'll be honest with you, it's hindsight, isn't it? We wish we had. We wish now, seeing that 144% increase on this gemstone from this mine and this company, you want to bet that we wish we'd bought 200, 300, 400, 600 if we could have, but we simply didn't know at the time that there was going to be that price increase, and we simply didn't purchase that many. So get your hands on the last chance opportunity at $19.95. I can honestly say you're getting serious beauty from a serious location and a prestigious location in the world at a seriously exceptional price point I don't imagine we're going to see again. $19.95, ladies and gents, absolute bargain of a deal. And can I just mention as well that I have got these pearls coming up for you that are just mammoth. They are so huge. These are coming up for you, ladies and gentlemen. As your next star buy, we're only looking at about 17 or 18 minutes on these. And look how exceptional they work. These are going to also be given as a challenge as well. So do stay tuned. Coming up really shortly for you. Okay, let's bring some more treats, shall we? That was your star buy. Where are we heading to, Tobes? Rhodolite garnet to come now. Now these I think would go really nicely with those amethysts actually, because they've got that same delicate look but still that very much virtuous luster.
Now, if that's not a paparazzi light bulb shot, I don't know what is. It really is, isn't it? You've got that rich pigeon blood ruby colouring with these, but I tell you what, it'll be nowhere near that price point. Genuine rhodolite garnet with a richness and a sumptuousness to just behold. For me, it's unrivaled by any other garnet because of that intensity due to that saturation, but also don't forget an epic amount of clarity you get with these. I know it's tricky to see in these light sources, but look at that clarity you're seeing on there. That is phenomenal. And again, not something we would expect or take for granted in a garnet. So I think with a rhodolite, it's always very important to look at that as well. Not only do you get that clarity, but look at that saturation. That is intense, isn't it? If you want to treat yourself to this, it's totally and absolutely natural. One of the most famous gemstones in the world, and actually a gemstone which is having a huge push, a huge comeback in engagement rings. Can you believe it? Rhodolite garnet has been purchased and been kind of strewn upon magazines. I've seen of late magazines with 2 pages dedicated to rhodolite garnet engagement rings, and they're not trade magazines. They're magazines. They're fashion magazines, well-known magazines. You're not in, Gem. Have you been having a little nosy at rhodolite garnet engagement rings as well?
I saw an engage. I love garnet. Garnet is my red of choice. It's definitely my favourite. But I saw the most beautiful engagement ring, and it was garnet and morganite, the most peach.
Yes.
And it was exceptional together. It was absolutely beautiful, and it goes back to that we were talking about it last time. It's the peaches and reds, pinks and reds together are really on trend, so it is making a comeback. Absolutely. It really is. And rightly so. It deserves to. It's just beautiful.
Definitely. And by the looks of things, there's always, I feel, in engagement rings, the high-end engagement rings and the lower engagement rings that come in and out of fashion. So the likes of your sapphire has been massive in engagement rings for a few years, hasn't it? Kate Middleton effect. Rhodolite is coming in and it's trying to take that crown. Come and get yours whilst you can, ladies and gentlemen, your price point today. Now, that is not the type of price point I would ever expect to pair with an engagement ring. But we're actually going to take it down today. You ready? Go. Go, go, go. 0800 644 655 is our number. Press option numero uno and you'll get through to our wonderful call centre. £9.95. That is not the type of price point we would normally expect. I can only describe Gemma's face as a smirk right now.
Well, it's just, it's beyond belief, isn't it? I mean, I'm really fortunate that that's probably my favourite gemstone at the moment. Yeah. So I'm getting it at those prices. That's fine by me.
Happy as Larry.
Happy days, yeah.
Absolutely happy days. And again, they'll go sensationally with those pearls you've got coming up shortly.
Yes.
Really beautiful.
My pearls.
Yeah, your pearls.
My pearls, yeah.
Yeah, your pearls, Gemma,
yeah,
yours.
Let's just get it right.
Yeah. Lots of you treating yourself to these, which of course is fantastic to see because it means that you're going to have the opportunity to work with this absolute dazzler, and it also means I get to see your little treats that you create on the Wall of Fame. These are phenomenal. £9.95. Nice work to you all on that rhodolite garnet. Good work to everyone. Do check out your baskets whilst you have the opportunity to do so. Well done, all £9.95 for you today. Now, I'm just thinking, now I know this is a little bit strange and a little bit peculiar, but let me pair it up with labradorite. Oh, now, yesterday, Karen kept saying to me, oh, that is a good idea, Becky. Oh, that is a good idea. And I feel like it's continued because Gem's just looked at me like, oh, girl's got a good one.
Yeah, you've done it.
Yeah.
I was proud of you then.
Thank you, Gemma. I love these together.
And me. I mean, I love labradorite, love garnet together. Yeah, they let each other, oh, I don't know, something so sophisticated about it. It's just lovely.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It's that elegance and kind of maturity and strength of the rhodolite garnet, and then that stunning, playful, majestic, magical Labrador essence that just works.
It really does. And I tell you what, if you've got some champagne pearls, that is the ideal, the most beautiful combination. In my eyes, that's beautiful.
Wow, that is a combination to be revered, isn't it? If you want to get your hands on this labradorite, now is your opportunity. I've got 35 opportunities, bang on the nose. Never ever been seen by itself before, so you won't own this unless you bought it maybe previously in a kit. Great quality labradorite from Madagascar, really playing on that colour, an aurora borealis, an explosion of light. It's quite rambunctious, isn't it, actually, that colour overtake with that juxtaposition with that gorgeous rich grey. And it is a rich grey, isn't it? It's not a flat, boring, dull grey. It's a very rich, intense grey, which I always think works really nicely as a neutral colour. It's not a black, it's not a white, it's not super stark, it's not over the top. It's just a really wearable colour. To have that majestic colouring of that light bursting underneath just makes it even more exceptional. Get your hands on the last, 20-ish, whilst you can. Price point today. You are having a giraffe. $6.95.
I'm sure I've got that strand and paid more for
that. That is not what I expected. Did anyone else expect that?
No, not at all.
No, not at all. $16.95. Yeah, okay. Even maybe at a little nudge, we'd do $16.95 and then we'd roll it down maybe to sort of $14.95, but I would not have expected $6.95. I'm not surprised. I've only got teen quantity left on this, very close to single figures. Get your hands on this whilst you have the opportunity to do so, and don't forget to keep your texts coming through. We love hearing from you. We're having texting for our final day of the wedding fair to say themes. What would your dream theme wedding be, in particular for any young adults out there? What's your dream theme? Have you got any? I'd love to hear from some sort of 15-year-olds or 12-year-olds with their crazy ideas. And also, have you had any trinkets that you've kept maybe from your wedding, or maybe you've taken from someone else's wedding? Have you too got an old biscuit like I have from a wedding? Or like me on lots of my nights out, posters. I always end up with posters in my bags. I do.
Yeah, and beer mats and
and
bottles, labels. And
yeah, just random stuff.
I can't even tell you the sort of random things I have in my memory box.
Just really random stuff. Things that everyone else would call rubbish.
Yeah. Or weird.
Yeah, or weird. Well done, everyone. $6.95, last few of those single figures. Okay, let's bring to you budding beater jewellery. Ooh. Clear Quartz collection. Now this is a collection that Anne has worked on for us. Hello, Anne. This is the collection that she has worked with. Sorry, wonked that up, haven't I? What am I like? Come back on, there you are. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is your collection of clearly bridal jewellery. You've got these lovely hearts that you can see and use here very much in a directional manner. Use them to not only point towards the focal, but also to create the focal themselves. You've then got those lovely perfect pure rounds here, both of which locations Brazil, giving you a lot of clarity in that location. Always, nearly always, eye clear on the Brazilian location of clear quartz. Not enhanced in any manner, no heat, no treat, no plastic, no glass. It's the real deal, genuine gemstone. And you've got the 12 by 10 on the hearts and the 6mm perfect pure rounds on the rounds. What I have here for you, ladies and gentlemen, is a gemstone which I think has been kind of paired with bridal for a very, very long time, possibly because of the clarity of it, because of the cleansing nature of it, because of the look of it, but also for me, perfect addition to a wedding, because of course it is the gemstone of kind of the chameleon gemstone, I call it, don't I? Which essentially means that these have the opportunity to magnify any colours that you're working with it. So if you were to pair this with, you could pair this with any colour gemstone under the sun and it would simply work, because the natural nature and the structure of the gemstone takes the colour which is paired with it and essentially magnifies it. It gives it a brightness, it gives it a look, it almost makes the gems you pair with it look bigger and bolder, and it carries that colour through your designs. Because of that, it's going to go with anything. Doesn't matter what your theme at your wedding, what colour scheme you're going for, it's going to work, and it's going to almost intensify, in particular, smaller gemstones alongside this. Your price point today, ladies and gentlemen, should be, we're rolling this down. Ignore that, don't look at it. It's going to go away in a moment. The hour is it in? £9.95 for both of these strands. I mean, a mammoth carat weight on these, as you can see. Big, bold, beautiful pieces at £9.95 each. You're looking at less than £5 a pop. For genuine gemstones, not something that's been whipped up in a laboratory by someone in a lab coat who's just got these chemicals out of a bottle and mixed them together. Not like those well-known stones. And don't forget, when we do talk about kind of your imitation gems or your plastic or your recreated gemstones, you know, these are big business. You know that brand I can never say. You know that one. Those, of course, are man-made. Essentially, it's your glass and your sand, and they heat up the sand and they heat up the glass and they mix it all together, and that's how they make their gemstones. There's other elements in it, but essentially that's it. You know, there is big money and big business in the fakes and faux, but if you want the real deal, if you want to stay true to Mother Nature, then these are the ones for you. And don't get me wrong, nothing wrong with glass or plastic, but if you want the real deal, now's your opportunity. Emily. Oh my gosh, I've just read the first line and I've fallen in love. I've just been invited to a Harry Potter themed wedding next year.
That's brilliant.
Wow. I planned on going as Luna Lovegood. I think that's a good idea. Yeah. Love the show. Gemma is amazing.
Oh,
that is a great theme.
That is a great theme. Yeah. Who would I go as? I'd have to be Helena Bonham Carter.
Do you know what? I think you would. I actually think you would. And you'd be able to pull that off completely.
Thanks, Becky. Thanks.
You really... In the nicest possible way. In the nicest possible way. Yeah, no, I think you could. You look wicked, kind of corset, big dress.
Yeah, spiky big hair.
Spiky hair. Oh, that's a good... Loads of eyeliner.
Yeah.
I like that idea. Luna Lovegood's a great one as well.
Yeah.
I like the idea of it, just because you can just kind of throw an old gown on, can't you? And then you can eat as much buffet as you want. It doesn't matter that you get that slightly pregnant-looking stomach. Do you know what I mean? Oh, and imagine the dance moves, just flowing your cape around on the dance floor. You'd feel like someone off of Fleetwood Mac, wouldn't you? Love that idea. Love that idea. Harry Potter theme. I want that now.
That'd be amazing.
That would be great.
My friend does the tours, the Harry Potter tours at Gloucester Cathedral.
Oh, wow.
Because a lot of it was filmed there.
Yeah, it was,
so,
yeah.
Yeah, that would be great to have it at the cathedral, wouldn't it?
Oh, that's such a great theme.
See if I can pull some strings.
Yeah, yes. What a great wedding. You're going to have loads of fun. Okay. Wait. Topaz I've got for you now, and this is your blue-coloured topaz. Ooh, bright light sunshine colours we've got here. Sunshine on a not so cloudy day. Do you know what I mean? And that we've got here, it is sunny outside. I know, I couldn't believe it myself. I was like, oh, what is this? Oh, it's the sun. It's been a while. I've got this lovely blue coloured topaz here for you. You've got that gorgeous coating over the top of these. Topaz loves being coated. It really, really does, because essentially what you get with it is mystic coated topaz. You get the pink coated topaz. Topaz takes coatings really nicely. It makes them nice and even. And what I love with strands like this is, because of the colour you've got there, it doesn't exude from the centre. It's rested on the top. You get that light brightness of colour and intensity of colour, but you still get that spring-like light from the inside of these. It's just beautiful, isn't it? 125 carats worth you've got here, ladies and gentlemen. Graduated strand, making it very useful. 8x6 to 13x7 mil. Your price point today. Rolling down. Taking it down in price point for you. Why not? We're just going to treat you. You ready? Treat yourselves already. £19.95 to get your hands on these ones. Really nice, vibrant colour that we have with these that I think will go absolutely exceptionally well.
Well, that's pretty. That's very pretty. Even with the amethyst as well.
Yes, the amethyst would look great with it too, wouldn't it? Yeah. That is so special. Ladies and gentlemen, coming up for you really, really not too far away, your last chance, maybe ever, to get your hands on this genuine Colombian emerald, ladies and gentlemen. Last few chances up on the blue coated topaz. Let me just show you it again. They're stranded out. These are going to go lovely actually with some pink amethyst. We got some today. We did have some, didn't we? Yeah, these would look nice. Yeah. This shape is just mind-boggling to me.
Oh, I love that.
I know.
I love those.
I love how it's a really simple change.
Yeah.
We've essentially just moved the drill hole a centimetre or two, but the look is totally, absolutely different.
Yeah, it is. And you know why? The other reason I love it so much is because they will sit in between the drilled stones at the other way, so you get that fanned out look without using spacers. Do you know what I mean?
Yes,
so you
I
haven't
know
got the gaps.
exactly.
So you get a really full bib style.
I love
But they
that idea.
tessellate beautifully.
What about with those amethysts we had on earlier?
Yes.
The top jaw ones, because they're gentle and dainty. Oh my
They look
gosh.
gorgeous.
We're on a roll today, guys. Take a little look at these because they are really unique. Pink amethyst. Very difficult gemstone to get your hands on. Now this confuses people. I've had someone message this relatively recently actually. Someone said, look, I'm really confused. When you bring pink amethyst, am I being silly? It doesn't look pink. That's completely fine. No, you're absolutely right. When we talk about pink amethyst, a lot of people will expect a bright, bright, bright pink. That's not what you get with a pink amethyst. What you get with a pink amethyst is a back palette of pink. That's how we describe it. Now that means, and if I hold it out for you, you're not getting a really deep back palette of blues, which you get with the likes of a Zambian amethyst. You get the back palette of a pink. So it means you get essentially a pinky lavender tone. I always think of it as those kind of really gentle colours that you see, almost like your periwinkle tones that you see in the garden around this time of year. At this time of year, I always think you don't get, until the tulips properly come out, the big intensity punch of colour. You get the kind of, you know, snowdrops, bluebells, the gentler sort of tones, don't you? That's kind of what we've got with this. Really stunning, drilled at the kind of largest point pretty much of these, giving you a really individual and unique look. I mean, how simple is that as a look to create? Your price point today, ladies and gentlemen, your pink amethyst. Really rolling it down. Wow, let's do this. We're rolling it down for you. Hey, why not? It's the final day of our wedding fair. Well, I'm amazed to see pink amethyst anyway under £15. It's not something we tend to do because it's very hard to excavate, very hard to get your hands on. In fact, people and miners used to anyway, with technology changed now, but used to spend days to try and excavate a geode out of the ground, and they would often, after spending days of excavating this with tiny hand picks, they would open it up and there'd be nothing inside. Well, there'd be a few tiny little elements, but nothing large enough to be able to kind of create gemstone jewellery, nothing large enough to be able to really work with. So realistically, it's not a gemstone we tend to get our hands on that often. To reduce the price is exceptional, really is. These could work beautifully with what I've got coming up next. If you want something very high-end, very much on trend, and very much raising in price, now's your opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, stand by. Truly, luxury. That is true luxury, isn't it? That is true exceptional luxury. Now, just want to let you know, we haven't seen pearls that much recently. Do you remember when we used to do pearls every sort of 30 minutes? Do you remember? We went through a time where we bought loads and it was fab and everyone loved it, everyone adored it, and it was pearls, 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 pearls. Essentially, pearls have gone up in price dramatically, for the larger ones in particular, and the really small ones. And we're finding it very difficult to purchase them at a price point that we know we would still be able to sell them, and therefore that we would still be able to keep the channel going. I just want to talk to you a little bit about what's going on with pearls at the moment. Pearls that are white
that are large in size are going through the roof. And essentially, there's many articles written about this at the moment. There really are. Have a little look on the GIA, etc. But if I just show you that this is an article, if you want to have a look at it, do feel free to just search Pearl Dreams price hike or price rise, and you'll be able to see here that we have got a little article essentially about this piece. What you've got, ladies and gentlemen, is something that talks about in here how the fact that in the last few years, pearlers say that Asian consumers are the reason after driving up the prices of South Sea and Tahitian pearls. Now, we all know that, don't we? Tahitian pearls are not your everyday price points. We're normally expecting to get a much, much higher price point. It goes on to talk about how the prices themselves are kind of pretty crazy at the moment. Top quality, which I've got here, round. Now, mine aren't perfectly round. They're a mil off round, but nonetheless. Top quality, round, white, fresh watered water pearls are the most expensive and toughest pearls to obtain currently. Bear that in mind for me now. These are fresh water. They're not perfectly round, okay, given. They're a mil off, 1 mil, that's it. But they are white. Fresh water, white pearls, most expensive and toughest pearls to obtain at the moment. Now, this is by a huge pearl retailer, okay? Plus, the production of the pearls determines that the bigger the size, the bigger the cost, because the tougher it is to source. I've got for you here, ladies and gentlemen, an exceptional opportunity. You've got to be quick if you want them, genuine, raising in price, white freshwater pearls. Now's your opportunity to get your hands on what is pure luxury, and it is pure luxury. What is a luxury pearl? Is it just my opinion? Oh, it's a bit luxury. No, it's a term, it's a definition. Luxury pearl is described in the trade and by the likes of the GIA as a 9 mil and above. I'm above at every single inch of this. Luxury size pearls demand luxury size prices. I've got a 10 by 11 mil here, means that in every single element of this, in every single thought of this, I am beating that luxury term. Another thing, when you think about a luxury pearl, and the thing you need to know in the trade, and this is something brand new to us, this is something that has recently changed. I have always said to you, always, without shadow of a doubt, when I'm bringing you a luxury size pearl, always reminded you that as soon as you are at 0.8, you are paying a premium on top of every 0.5 millimeter, okay? So you get to your your 8 mil, sorry, you get to your 8.5 mil, you're paying 10%. For a 9 mil, you're paying an extra 10%. For your 9.5 mil, you're paying an extra 10%. It's not like any other gemstone, which is kind of like, you know, an extra centimeter, you know, that's going to give you a big price. It's for every 0.5 millimeter. That's how precise it is. That's how kind of eye-catching and alluring that is. And that's how kind of precise it is. Every 0.5 millimeter. And what you get is the 10%. And that's what I've always told you. Always told you an extra 10%. Not any more. It's gone up to closer to a 25% price increase at trade prices for every 0.5 mil. And if things like this are to be believed, it is said to continue, because truly we are seeing such a massive, massive increase. We truly are. There's a comment on here which is by the CEO of Yoko in London, very big brand, I'm sure you'll all know it already, but there's a quote in here that says by the CEO of that well-known company, domestic China is consuming more pearls, referring to freshwater pearls, than they export. That means that they're expecting huge price hikes closer to the end of the year. Now, basically what that's saying is that China are consuming, as in they're keeping, more pearls than they are giving out to the rest of the world. So that means the rest of the world are fighting for smaller proportions. That's helping this price hike, and it is set to continue. Ladies and gentlemen, luxury size pearls at a sensational price point today. You ready for this? £14. 14, 1-4, no, not 40, which we were all expecting. £14.95. Gem, what do you think of that? Given everything we've just read, given everything you've just seen with your own eyes and everything I've just sort of told you, what do you think of that?
I don't know. That's phenomenal, isn't it? They are amazing, and they're so huge.
They're mammoth.
There's no way you expect that sort of impact for that price.
No.
Full stop on anything,
No.
even on plastic.
No.
Do you know what I
You're
mean?
right.
But to, you know, that's a crazy price.
It's astonishing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And I love that you can tell they're real, because you
Yeah.
get these quirls and swirls around them. You can tell they're real, you can tell they're not faux and not faked. You can absolutely tell. But at that price point, you wouldn't expect them to be real.
No.
If that makes sense. You
No.
can tell they are, and they obviously are, but you wouldn't expect them to be
No.
for the price.
No
I think
way.
they're astonishing. Jem, we are giving these to you as your challenge. What are your ideas?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, the temptation is to wear them just like that, because they're so gorgeous. But I think I might space them out just so I make them go a bit further. So I've got lots of options with my kits.
Yeah.
Both kits, and I've got lots of gems. I think they'll work with anything, won't they? Because
Yeah,
they're
definitely.
so neutral as well. So I don't know. I'll just have a play, I think.
Have a play, have
Yeah.
fun. I'm going to hand those over to you now, if I
Thank
may,
you.
Jem. Stunning. Not many of those left at all.
Thanks.
Feel the weight on those,
I
Jem.
know. They're just gorgeous.
It's like carrying a small child. And £14.95 for you today. You could tell that Jem agreed with the face though, couldn't you? Oh yes, small child. £14.95 for
Very
us
small.
today, over allocated now. Okay, where are we going to, please? Don't forget, I've got another star buy coming up for you really, really shortly. Coral. Naughty price point alert. Alert? Alerts. Very naughty. Really, really, really quick opportunity now on Pink Sapphire. They're quite nice, aren't they, actually? Really quick opportunity on these ones. Shaded pink amethyst, shaded pink sapphire. We don't get to see that often, but we're bringing it to you right here, right now, quickly. Those coming up for you literally about 6.5 minutes. Really quick one on this because I want to squeeze in at least 2 before that. This is your beautiful, rich, deep pink. Did I accidentally do that? Shaded pink amethyst. What? Yeah, I do that naturally sometimes. Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? I accidentally pop. Pop. I accidentally roll my R's a lot as well. Sometimes I do that. Roll. Accidentally. And yeah, talk whistle is another skill. Sexy sausages.
With that face as well.
Salmon. Etc. Squids. But, ladies and gentlemen, stepping away from my amazing vocalisation, let's talk about this stunning shaded pink sapphire. This, ladies and gentlemen, a really lengthy strand with a really gorgeous, gentle graduation of colour. Don't forget for me when we talk about your pink sapphires, we are essentially talking about a really beautiful member of the Quandrum family, which is just off the cusp of that of a ruby. It's a gentler tone, it's not as strong of a red, but that's essentially the only slight difference. This is your very elegant shaded pink sapphire. Let's get that price in. £24.95 for you today. Come on in, get it whilst you can. It's not something that we get to see that often at all. And also, it would go nicely if you got the Zambian amethyst, which I just love, earlier on. Right, loads of you coming in for this one already because probably weren't expecting that price. We wouldn't normally, would we? If you're new to us, hi, how are you? My name's Becky. As you can see, got a lot of vocal skills, haven't I? Apparently, I always go cross-eyed when I do the whistling, do I? I can do it without, I think. Oh no, I'm really focusing now. Sandwiches. Slow sandwich. But I have to do this. I look like a turtle going back into its shell. I look really weird. Thanks, guys. Michael's now practicing. I've got, my name is Becky, and if you are brand new, it's lovely to see you. I know. Sapphire at £24.95. Just before your mind goes, hang on, sapphire, is this real? Is this not? Yes, it is. It's real sapphire. It's just that we cut out the middleman, and we do have great connections with the likes of our sapphire providers and sapphire miners. Get them whilst you can. Very individual. £24.95. Do not forget, text us in. We want to know for our final day of the wedding fair. Have you had any keepsakes? Have you had any keepsakes that you've gotten that you've kept from your own wedding or someone else's? Even if they're a little bit peculiar, a little bit strange,
Or maybe you're with someone who's a little bit younger and you want to ask them what their dream theme, or what yours, maybe you've already been married, but if you were to do it all again, if you know what I mean, what would your theme be? Anything, I don't mind. I love, we've been really helping people out actually with our kind of hints and tips on, you know, ideas. So do feel free to text us in 6777. So text us with Gem Sugar. Okay, that's going on really quickly. Before I get on to that beautiful coral, naughty price point, I liked it a lot. You'll be saying, Michael, there's a gemstone joke for you.
Thanks.
Michael was saying earlier, oh, I really wish I knew more gemstone jokes. We'll do it as a text topic in the week, shall we? This, ladies and gentlemen, is your stunning iolite. Take a little look at it. 250 carats worth of your stunning iolite in these plain rounds. Really big, bold pieces here. We're looking at a 10 mil. I love with an iolite how you get that inky look, you get that inky appeal, but because it is so multi-tonal and pre-achroic, because it changes colour in different light sources. Can't say certain words today apparently. Then because of that, you get these real mixture of different looks and different appeals. This is a gemstone which used to be used way back when by the likes of the Vikings. They used to use this and crows to help guide them, which is, pardon?
Yeah, I was there.
Gem's going, yeah, I was there. Gosh, you look good for your age, for a little Viking. You don't look a day over 700.
Have you seen the Vikings? I wish I was there.
Oh, I know, amazing fashion. Anyway, yeah, they used to use this because essentially what they used to do is they would put it at the kind of the front of their ship, and due to the way in which the light would move through this, it would help them know which direction they were going in. For example, the light in one direction, it would go a slightly golden colour, and that would mean you knew you were heading north, for example. But when it was more of a blue colour, then you knew you were heading to the south. They also used crows as well, if you knew that. They used to keep crows in the crow's nest, hence the name of the crow's nest. They used to keep crows up there because what they would do is they would use the direction of this. They would use the direction, but then to know whether or not they were coming close to land, they would let crows out of their cage and let them fly. And if there was no land around for miles, then obviously the crows would come back to the ship because they needed to rest, they needed to kind of stay still, they needed to kind of, you know, regenerate the sources, re-energize, have a little sleep. And if there was no land around, then obviously that's how you knew, because they would have to come back to the ship, so you knew you just had to keep following the iolite. Your price point today on this multicoloured gem, $12.95 for you today. Absolutely beautiful gem, pleochroic in so many different ways, so many different turns, so much for different look. Is that Cassie going? So long. Farewell. Oh, she's such a love. She's just gone on to her new life, but she was saying she might come back on the birthday show. I've said it on air now, so she has to. I'll message her later. Just let her know I've really ditched her in it now. I've said it on air. $12.95 for you. Okay, last few of those available. How do you feel about something a little bit mischievous? We're going to bring you Star By. Star By. Opportunity now. We don't get so much coral on anymore, I feel, which is a shame because we love it. The fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, coral takes a long time to get our hands on, really. And it's something that we know is relatively easy and kind of to get your hands on if you maybe don't care so much about the environment or the way in which you get it, but we do. All of our coral is ethically sourced. It means that we do not go into the sea and disrupt all the marine life and all of the coral. We actually go into hilltops where seas used to exist but no longer exist. The fact of the matter is, because of that, it takes quite a large party, quite a large exposition party to go out and get a decent amount of coral that we can then bring to you on screen.
So when we do try and get coral in, it will tend to take us quite a long time to get the amount we want, to process it all and to bring it to you. But when we get it, boy do we work wonders with it. I mean, just look at these top drilled drops of your gorgeous coral, sorry, centre drilled really, drops of your coral. They give this beautiful droplet-like look that's just going to add so much brightness to your designs. Now, I know that you've worked with coral, Gemcro.
Yeah.
Tell me what you like about working with coral that's like this.
I love coral because I love the colour, how it takes the colour. There's something about how it takes the colour that makes it really vibrant.
Yes, okay, yeah.
But soft. It's very hard to explain, but it's almost a waxy feel.
Yes, I know what you mean.
It feels lovely on your skin, and it works great with pearls because I think they've got that affinity with one another.
Definitely agree.
And it works great with turquoise. And turquoise being one of my favourites, I often find myself using or sourcing coral. Yeah.
So a perfect pairing for whatever you have.
Yeah.
Coral, not generally the lowest price item you might expect because it is tricky to source. Ignore that. Price point today. We laugh in the face of $7.95, don't we, Michael? No, that was really good. We're rolling it down. Your price point today, everyone. £4.95 for genuine, real deal coral. That is so phenomenal. £4.95 for you today. Little bit late to that, Brother Pete. Little bit late.
Okay.
You know, fashionably late only works now and again, Brother Pete. Yeah. $4.95 for you today on this. That is very special, isn't it?
It's a brilliant price, yeah, 'cause it can be very, very expensive.
Yes, you're right.
And it's another one of those things that, a bit like amethyst, people know it, and they're curious because people have heard that, you know, it's not good to mine.
Correct.
Mine it. So that actually starts a conversation that helps you to then communicate that all of your products are ethically sourced. So it's really great in as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah, it's definitely worth having that.
100%.
Yeah.
Really is, and it is lovely when we are able to bring you exceptional things like this. And yeah, we do lower the price, but we don't lower our standards.
No.
We don't go, oh, do you know what? There is the opportunity to get some. We're not entirely sure how it's been sourced. And, you know, we're pretty sure that this is the one where you got those huge ships that basically cast down their net to capture coral life and coral reefs. We're pretty sure that's where we get it from. But, hey, it's cheap. We don't do that. We keep our prices amazing, but we will always stick to our kind of... sentiment, I suppose, of ethically sourced is always best. £4.95 for you today. Really something true special. I think it's just phenomenal, isn't it? Don't you think? I love it. And if you want to add some drops with this, if you want to add some kind of pieces and extras to this, then I think a really, really great idea. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we wouldn't normally go to a break at this point, but we are going to. There's a couple of reasons. Number one, my phone lines are going so loop-de-loo. We don't want the call centre having like a Sunday afternoon. But also because in this next piece, we're going to be talking a lot about these new elements we've got and also doing some different elements of the demonstration. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to a break right now. We're going to, straight after that break, do your star buy, and then we are going to bring you the opportunity to get your hands on this exceptional kit, which is full of so many treats, so many goodies, that it's really just going to inspire. I'm going to be back with Gemma, loads of inspiration, and some sensational deals straight after this break.
Some of the most spectacular rhodolite garnets are found in Sri Lanka and Tanzania. They're typically found as water-worn pebbles from alluvial deposits. As a gemstone, it's ideal for jewellery. It has some beautiful raspberry purples, great clarity, stunning lustre, and it's also a really durable gemstone.
There are 2 easy ways you can purchase from Jewellery Maker. You can watch our show on Sky, Virgin, Freeview and FreeSat and call our free phone number where you'll be put through to our friendly help team who can place your order. Alternatively, you can go to our website and click to register. Once you've filled in the required details, you can start shopping. You can watch the show by clicking on the Watch Live Show button on the homepage. You can also use our quick search tool and narrow down your results. Once you have found an item that you like, simply click on the Add to Basket button and you can continue shopping or check out right away. Don't forget, you can add as many items to your basket per day for only 1 P&P. Enjoy shopping with Jewellery Maker. There are 4 easy ways to stay in touch with Jewellery Maker. You can like our Facebook page and join a community of over 54,000 people. You can follow us on Twitter and tweet us your messages and opinions, send photos of your designs and enter our Wall of Fame competition. Or if you need any help or advice, you can email our friendly help team. Make sure to get involved and stay up to date with Jewellery Maker.
I think having bespoke jewellery always makes things unique. The fact that you can add a couple of flowers onto a basic necklace or add some more beads on. There's nothing better than a bride who can actually make her bridesmaids gifts and favours. It's lovely to see people coordinating their dresses with their bracelets by making friendship bracelets for each other.
Did you know when you book on a Jewellery Maker workshop, you are given exclusive access to our Jewellery Maker shop? You can browse through special items and offers, be privy to selected discounts and deals that you can't get at any other time. Shop whilst you learn and grab yourself some amazing offers. For more information on workshops and available dates, contact our call centre.
Pearls are classic. I mean, who doesn't love pearls? You look at them, they look elegant, they look classy, and they make elegant, classy jewellery when you're creating with them. I think right from the whitest of white pearl to the peach pearl, they're always stunning, and anybody can wear them. They're one of my favourites. You see them, don't you, in expensive jewellers, covered in diamonds. Diamond and pearls are the classic duo, and that's why I love pearls.
Pearls are always a huge seller on Jewellery Maker, and I think it's because there's a huge amount of emotional attachment to them. I think whatever walk of life you come from, whatever your age, you always associate pearls with maybe someone who's worn pearls before you, maybe your grandma, maybe your mum. So there's always that emotional attachment to pearls, and they can be classic, they can be contemporary, they can really be whatever you want them to be, and definitely one of my favourite gemstones.
Welcome, jewellery makers and crafters of all kinds. How are you today? It's lovely to see you. Welcome to Jewellery Maker. My name is Rebecca Redican, but you can call me Becky. It's wonderful to be with you this afternoon. I've already had so many treats. I mean, I've had sellouts coming out of my ears. There's just so many. I should go to the doctor about that, shouldn't I? There's so many treats, so many goodies that we've had for you, and I'm about to give you a very special star by. Fashions, times change. Just with everything, you know, you're probably not wearing right now what you were wearing
25 years ago. It's something that changes and something that looks different and something that moves with the times. Exactly the same with gemstones, and exactly the same with status and type and name. When I think of when I was growing up, and I think of all the kind of well-known brands that were big at the time, you know, you're talking the likes of your Naf, the likes of your Kappa, that like, it's so embarrassing when Ben, my director, who's getting married, is going, who? 25 years ago, I wasn't even married, I wasn't even born then, you know, stuff like that. But there was all those big brands then that really you don't hear that much of now, do you? Whereas now there's obviously bigger brands and newer brands that were very kind of different and individual, and that maybe for the future will be a little bit obsolete. Same things happens with gemstones and location. This gemstone has always been big, because it's emerald. But the fact of the matter is, there's been a different change in times. And the fact of the matter is, ladies and gentlemen, right now, this is the big one. Stunning Colombian emerald, ladies and gentlemen. It is the #1 location to get your emerald from in the world. Now, it changes a lot. It changes kind of in time. It changes in location, just as all those brands I've mentioned have. When we, you know, back in the day, Brazil was the place to get it from if you wanted richness of colour. And then Zambia kind of took over, and then Colombia took over. But then Zambia took over again. Now, around about last year, it was noted that this was the place. Colombian is back winning again. And probably because of the brightness, the freshness, the lightness that you get with this, that you just don't get to see often in the likes of your Brazilian emerald. Now, I just want to let you know the kind of difference in status with this. And my lovely director, Ben's going to show us a couple of slides on this now. On this first slide that we are about to show you, we are going to show you the price that I looked up for a Brazilian emerald. Now, this is your price point on a Brazilian emerald. It was an individual emerald, and your carat weight on it was 1.05 carats. It was in a US site, so we had a little look at it in dollars, and the postage and packaging on top of it meant that for that 1.05 carat Brazilian emerald, your price point worked out as £58.52. Now, that's already a really good price. It was a great quality Brazilian emerald. But what I want to prove to you now is that location does make a difference. From your Brazilian emerald, which was working out just over £58, what do you imagine for the same carat weight, the same cut, the same gemstone, just different location? It was even the same website. What do you imagine is the difference in price for that of a Colombian? Extra, what, double it? Double it? You think another £58 on top of each thing? That actually would seem loopy, wouldn't it? Double the price, 100% extra would seem strange, because you've got your Brazilian location and you've got your Zambian location, sorry, your Colombian location, but that's the only difference. The clarity was the same, it was the same website, the same cut on it, the same carat weight, the same look. It wasn't, you know, set into different jewellery, it was just an individual piece. So even double would seem weird, because everything's the same apart from the location. Brazilian 1.05 carat was just over £58. Same cut, same carat weight, same gem, just different location. For your Colombian, like this emerald, take a look at the price. £3,818. That is a serious difference, isn't it? But that goes to show you, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. The fact of the matter is that location. Great TV show, but also a very important thing to remember, because that does make a big difference. Bearing that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to remember that you're expected to pay those kind of price points, because if you're getting high quality, you're getting high clarity, you're expecting that of your Colombian emerald. It's at the moment the top of its game, the top of its level, by many gemologists saying it's the #1 place to get your emeralds at the moment. If you want to treat yourself to the last of this, and truly the last, because I've got a handful of these left, and we haven't been able to get any Colombian emerald in the last year. Let me repeat that. The last year, we haven't been able to purchase any new ones, your price point today is not nearly £50. It could absolutely happily be £50. Look at the quality of this. Look at that glow. The clarity of it is intensity. It's got this super duper luminosity. So absolutely, I'm happy to just see it. Oh, don't get me wrong. Obviously, these are in smaller carats, so you will expect a lower price. But I'd be happy to see this under £80. Just under £80. I'd still be absolutely over the moon and probably telling everyone about it. Can I just say to you, what we're about to do on this price is so ridiculous, okay? And it's so ridiculous, I just want to let you know that I would tell you staff cost on this, but you genuinely wouldn't believe me. £29.95. It should have been just shy of £50. £29.95. That is absolutely shocking. That is not something that we're used to seeing. That is not something that we usually expect. Honestly, I dare not tell you the staff cost because you just wouldn't believe me. You just wouldn't believe me. Let me just say to you that you are getting yourself an absolute bargain that I myself am sincerely jealous of. You wouldn't believe me if I told you staff cost. You just wouldn't. £29.95 for the Queen, the number one, the location, because it gives you Christmas, it gives you clarity, it gives you strength of colour. We haven't been able to purchase new strands of this for a year, a whole year. We haven't purchased any yet, you know, I'm not saying like year as in a long time. Has anyone else just noticed how I seem to put 2 syllables in year? Do you? Year. How do you say year? Year? Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Gemma Crow. How do you say it, Michael? Yeah. Project, darling, we can't hear you. Year. Anyway, we haven't been able to get this in about 12 months. So honestly, it is exceptional. Well done to South Yorkshire, Surrey, Cork, Suffolk. Well done, Kent. Nice one, Monmouthshire. Lovely to see you, West Midlands. Hello, Bedfordshire. Lovely to see you, Essex. Another one for Somerset. Hi, Merseyside. How are you? West Yorkshire, Hampshire. Five's coming in. Cheshire's in. Another Bedfordshire. Wiltshire's coming. London's coming. Conway, if you want this, you've got to be quick because you're fighting against Conway, Yorkshire, Somerset, Surrey, Holland, a collector. Undescribed location, Greater London, Greater Manchester, West Midlands, Cheshire. You're fighting against them all right now. Thank you, Conway, you've checked out. Now it's between the rest of you. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I am in my last chance saloon on this one. Big time, big time. I'm at the bar. I'm placing an order for a baby sham, I don't know. Other 80s revival drinks are available. This is a phenomenal deal. It really is astonishing. You've got to come in and get this whilst you can. If you're watching on your app and you're going, oh my gosh, I need the code, okay, ring in right now and you'll be able to purchase what's on screen. The code is VOON53 for you. VOON. Maybe it's that because that's how quickly you're going to rush to the door. That's how quickly you're going to rush to the door when the postman comes with this. You're going to hear that and you're just going to run towards the door to get it. Run, because you are just going to be delighted with this. Well done to every single one. Over 12 months we've not been able to get this. This is premium quality at, let's face it, bargain basement price point. Last chance on this one, heading into my teens to every single one of you. Honestly, if I told you staff cost, you wouldn't believe me, and I am totally jealous. Well done, everyone. Well done to you all. Today, I'm actually over the moon to say we've had loads of text in, wedding text in, so we love them. We've had loads of people texting in with their weird and wonderful theme ideas and with their trinkets that they've taken away from their own weddings and other people's. But we've also had loads of messages in for my wonderful guest designer today, because, ladies and gentlemen, I am joined by my wonderful guest designer, Gemma Crow. Hey, Gem.
Hello.
How's it going?
Yeah, good.
Getting ready and raring to go.
Yeah, I'm all ready for the
kit.
next one.
We're going to be doing quite a few different little elements today, which is why we went to that break early. What are we going to expect from this?
It's called avant-garde wedding guest, this kit, and so it's bold, quite statement jewellery, beautiful rich colours, and the most gorgeous wire that I've never worked with before, so real treat for me, and lots of versatility. It's hard to explain because it's really diverse.
Really is diverse. Lots of treats to look forward to. We are going to dive into the kit right now.
Now, well done to everyone who got that. Honestly, what a treasure. What a treasure. Imagine it with that Zambian amethyst I brought you before. Let me bring this over. Whoa. Now, you instantly, when we had this on in the break before, just went, I love these. I love these. Talking about the whole thing, but also the gemstones.
Yeah.
What do you love so much about these?
I love how golden they are. I love the shape of them. I love how they're drilled. I love how they work in jewellery. They're just gorgeous. And it's funny, it's one of those ones that I might not have bought when I'd seen them, but as soon as you've got them in a piece of jewellery, you think, oh, I'd have to have those in my stash now. I have to have a piece of jewellery with that in them.
I just think you're absolutely right when you say, when you look at these, you probably wouldn't have gone, oh yeah, I need them. But seeing how you've worked with them and how you've used them, now I would. Yeah. They're so unusual. And I don't know if it's just me, but I find that can sometimes be a bit daunting. Can it for you?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the great thing about bundles and kits, is that you have to challenge yourself, because you get these things that you might not have bought individually, and all of a sudden they're there in front of you. You've got to work with them, and it's surprising what you can come up with.
You have got genuine, beautiful gemstones here. That yellow chalcedony in a double 2 strands we're getting there. Something we rarely get to see. Yellow chalcedony is something that isn't really in abundance here at Jewellery Maker. It's something that we sought to get our hands on because it gives a freshness and a brightness that I think is unrivaled. You're not getting a citrine type of colour. The type of colour I'm seeing in here actually is only the type of colour, those butterscotch tones I would expect normally from the likes of your American fire opal, which obviously we've not seen in months. You know, it's that kind of colour, it's that time of hue. It's not even your Mexican fire opal, is it? It's that newest discovery, that USA kind of location. It's rich, it's vibrant, it's almost gumdrop-like. And the thing I really like about it is how that glows on the inside. It's not just a flat gemstone. You still get that beauty of the chalcedony. I always think it's this mystical, magical glow that you get emitting from the inside. And to get those over the 2 strands is phenomenal, in particular with such a quirky shape. Great to be able to see these corner drilled squares. I bet that makes the way in which these undulate and connect quite different, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And it adds that texture. Yeah, it just adds a texture to it, and also, you know, they're directional as well, because they've got the points, so they do help you lead a design or lead your eye. So they're really great. I can't recommend them enough, actually. They're really lovely.
Yeah, really, really exceptional. And then, what about this lapis lazuli?
Again, gorgeous, a beautiful shape. I mean, when the designs I've putting them together, they're quite William Morris, so quite classic, but they've also quite reminiscent of like Moroccan designs. So I think, again, they're really versatile.
I completely agree with that Moroccan statement. They almost remind me of the shapes you see on tile work.
That's it, tiles and lattice work in windows and things like that. Yeah, they're lovely.
And because you've got that strength, that boldness, that opaque quality with this, and because the quality of it is really up there, you're not just getting a flat denim colour, you're getting a real nice even dispersion of those little flecks that we get naturally occurring within that beautiful lapis lazuli, and that kind of just clicks and quirks and works alongside the gemstones. Really beautiful. Now, let's have a little talk first off. Where should we go? Let's talk, shall we? Let's talk. People are gonna go loopy over the amount of French wire you got. Huge amount here. When we do French wire, we normally do 1 or 2 pieces. 30 pieces in this collection, ladies and gentlemen. French wire is something that we don't get to see that often on screen at all, and I have never myself brought it to you in this massive quantity. It's something which you essentially can use for a number of different things. You can use it for the protection of your pieces, in the sense that you can use it for added security, say, around your clasps. But also, nice to be able to use it for the texture of it. When you stretch this out and it gives you that coil, and you can kind of work with it and mesh it almost together. But I also actually quite like just cutting off little sections for the really high-end, decadent looking spaces too. Big amount in there, which must have just been luxurious to work with.
It really was, yeah. And I've got loads left. It just went on and on and on. I couldn't use it all up.
No.
It's lovely. It's lovely stuff. And everybody who's come and seen the jewellery that I've made has automatically been drawn to the piece I've made with that, to touch it.
Yes.
They want to feel it. It's got that tactile look to it.
It really does.
It's gorgeous.
For me, it's like a bit Midas touch. It almost looks like it's made out of one product, maybe almost like a fabric, but then there's been kind of the Midas touch that has just turned it into pure gold.
Yeah, there's something really fascinating about it. It's lovely.
It is exceptional. I can't wait to show you those pieces. I'm then adding some wire to this collection in very complementary tones. First things first, you've got your 0.8, so a really nice structural wire, but still extremely malleable. Sticking on the gold terms, we're looking at your 0.4 here, and you've got that gorgeous copper core with this 0.4, perfect for the likes of adding your class and also doing those really nice accent details, and of course weaving. And then you've got your blue wire here. Now the blue is 50 meters worth, and it is your 0.4. So you get a lot of this. 70 meters worth in total of this wire, but this isn't a wire we're going to focus on. Jem, tell us please why you're head over heels in love with this.
It's just gorgeous. It's sort of, it's ever so odd because it's one colour coiled around another.
Yes.
But it depends which way you look at it as to which colour you actually see. So sometimes it's silver with blue, and sometimes it's blue with silver, or the other one gold with gold with blue, and it depends which is dominant. So it's almost like a two-tone, like a fabric. But for weaving with, it's perfect because you've got those grooves to work with, and so your wires follow a line.
It's just phenomenal. 10 meters worth you get here of the different gauges. So this is your blue and silver. Looking at a 1 mil on this one, but obviously the blue that's coiled around it is a slightly different gauge.
Oh yes, yeah. It's probably about a 6 or 4.
Around it. Yeah. You're then going to be getting your finer gauge again, and it gives it just a gorgeous texture on this one. Looking at around about a 0.6-ish on that one, 0.6, 0.5. I'm also bringing to you the same gauge as that one. The same gauge as this one, in the gold and the blue. Now that has just got such a corkscrew look and effect, hasn't it? Really, really dark colouring of that kind of bluey black. It's almost inky actually tone within there. And then you've got the same gauge as this one again in that same colours. Bringing such a mass amount of texture and feel and look and a lot of fun to kind of, I imagine, push you a bit out of your usual working zone. Am I right?
Yeah, definitely. And the other thing, because it's coiled around a coil around, you get this springy nature of the wire, which actually really helps when you're making quite flowy, fluid pieces. I mean, it springs everywhere and you have to tame it, but actually the results can be really, really fascinating. It's just lovely. I really love it.
We're about to do something very silly to the price scenes, as the amount of products that we want and love here are great. The amount of newies in is phenomenal, but we're still going to do a silly price drop. Price point today. Now, please don't forget, for me, that isn't even your RRP. Some of this has been reduced in price recently, so that already is a discounted price of close to £57.50. What you've got with this kit is something very workable for beginners and people who've been making jewellery for a long time. And don't forget, you get free inspiration and step-by-step instruction on this, and I mean a lot of it. You've got to get the kit first, though. We're rolling it down. We don't have to, because like I say, that's already a discounted price, and I think our price points are very competitive anyway. We're rolling it down dramatically though. £34.95 is your price point on this avant-garde collection. £22.50 saving back in your pocket. Don't forget, all those people who've already bought it, you all paid that same closing price point. The great thing about you getting in early just means you're not now rushing to the phone lines and elbowing everyone out the way like everyone else is trying to. The amount of people who are adding this to their baskets is going up and up and up and up, making sure that you're checking out at any available opportunity. Jem, what do you think of that price, please?
It's fantastic. There is so much wire there. Just for the wire on its own, brilliant. But can I say, the French wire, 30 pieces of French wire, if you were to buy them individually on one of very well-known sells everything online shops, they're £2.50 each, that would be £75 just for the wire, just for the French wire.
Just for that alone.
So, you know, regardless of that, it's, you know, it's phenomenal value. It's absolutely brilliant.
It's just exceptional.
Yeah.
It's just astonishing.
Yeah.
It really is. I mean, obviously French wire is something which varies greatly in price point where you're looking, but to bring you this massive amount at that price is just exceptional.
Really is. It's great stuff.
Oh, it's just fantastic. $34.95, everyone. Well done. Quantity-wise, again, wish I had 160, but I just don't. So do check out those baskets whilst you have that opportunity to do so, because there's deals like this that you'll be gutted if you miss it. I'm moving on over. I'm going to walk super slowly. Slowly. Because I've got a sensational amount. We haven't even looked at Gemma Crow's jewellery yet. Do you want the opportunity to have a look at the amazing mammoth pieces that we've created here? Get ready for your first look at Gemma Crow's astonishing jewellery. Wow.
That one evolved. And that one really taught me a lesson, because I'd worked on it for about 4 hours making that main scroll piece, the main doubled up the circles, the sort of serpent-like piece. And it didn't work how I wanted it to. I wanted to sit around the neck and sort of protrude, so it was 3D, and it didn't work, and I thought, oh, I can't waste 4 hours work. And so it really taught me that if you just persevere with something, because how often do we just get so far with something and throw it away and think, no, I'm not, you know, it's not working. So just kept going with it. And I'm really pleased with how it turned out. So it taught me a good lesson, that one.
It just looks exceptional, doesn't it? We've also used kind of that gorgeous wire, that textured wire, to create this stunning piece at the end here. Tell me about your inspiration with this one, please.
Again, this one, when I'd made the one that I said went wrong and I'd done the flower for the centre, I thought, I love that effect. And I wanted to recreate that in its own piece, so it was the feature. So I started with the flower and then the two tendrils, and then how the wire springs, that's what I was saying, it really does dictate then your design, because it's springing all over the place, it's very bendy and wavy, you know, it's like, it's so fluid that you then end up with these shapes and you think, oh, I'll just hold that there. So you can just wire it in and it holds its shape. So that one, again, it grew really.
It just looks phenomenal. And then onto the French wire, which is exactly the one I was talking about. Doesn't that almost look like it was created with silk, and Midas just came along and touched this and it purely turned into silky gold. It's just phenomenal. I love that design. Tell us about that design with all of that French wire.
So I mean, I love the French wire on its own as a piece, but I wanted to do something asymmetric. I wanted to show the wire on its own, so I just threaded it with some of the 0.4 wire and had those little chalcedony on the ends, which give it sort of that punctuation at the end. And then love how they tessellate, so I wanted to balance it with the gemstones on the other side. So that one for me is really chic. That's a chic design. It looks very expensive. I really like that one.
It's just phenomenal, isn't it? I've got multi-purchases on this, ladies and gentlemen. No, I'm not surprised either. Because remind us again what you were saying about the price of the French wire alone that you've seen online.
Yeah, I mean, I know you can buy it in bulk, but if you were buying it individually, it's £2.50 per length.
And you've got 30 lengths.
Got 30 lengths there.
So over £75 you would expect. We want everyone to be able to create these pieces. And because of that, the arrows are in.
Is it dropping again?
Everyone now has the chance to own this. Don't forget, if you purchased this straight away and you got yourself 2 of these, which people did, don't worry, we all pay that final closing price point. We want everyone to have the opportunity to create this. We've had so much great feedback about it.
Got it, got it, got it. So excited. Beautiful kit. You guys are so awesome. Oh, thank you. Oh, you little love. Jo. Oh, Gemma. Wow, wow, wow. What more can I say?
Oh, thanks, Jo.
You've summed it up perfectly there, most certainly. They are wow, wow, wow pieces. Please, please, please check out those baskets, because it's just a silly price point for such a vast amount of quality and beauty. And we're going to do a serious amount of demonstrations as well. So you're going to get all the kits you need, and don't forget, you can make a note of today's date, watch it back at your leisure on YouTube, and then you can follow along with all of the amazing demonstrations we're going to have now. We're going to be doing lots and lots and lots of elements, aren't we, today?
Yeah, we're going to try. I mean, they're big, bold pieces, some of these, so I'm going to aim to take you through all the techniques that you need to make the one with the flower at the centre. So not the one that went wrong, just in case it goes wrong again on air. I'm not going to risk it.
Okay.
So we're going to do that one.
Okay.
But I just want to quickly say, in terms of the French wire, because it's got that lovely fluid feel to it, you don't want to lose that, and you still want to use it in your pieces. These are done with monofilament, so you still get that lovely fluidity. So that was one way of using it to keep its...
Got you.
Keep what was the word?
Keep the movement, keep the fluidity, the articulation of it.
Keep it as it is.
Just to let everyone know, I've got over half my stock got on this now, so it's very important you do get onto this quickly. So we're starting off with the flower section, is that right? No, we're doing that.
I'm gonna do the flower section
in a bit
after, because we need the tails of one to create the flower.
Okay, the flower on the other.
We'll do and then by doing the one, you'll know how to do the centre one. So if we don't get time, you'll know.
You'll know.
Right. Okay. So first off, I'm going to take. I worked this necklace into halves, and each half has 6 lengths of wire.
Right.
So has 6 tendrils. So that means it's 3 lengths of wire each side doubled over.
Got you.
Okay. So I'm going to cut those off now. So we're going to roughly go for, what have I got here, Becky? 20, 37. So.
That's 17 inches,
17,
but that's
34.
halved over, so 34 in total.
About 34-ish inches.
Okay.
As long as you do the same on both sides, because this is a symmetrical piece, so we want to make sure it's the same both sides. And we're going to measure 3 lengths like that. You see how springy and bouncy it is. Now, I don't really want to tame it because we need that for to create the sort of design we want to create. So keep it nice and bouncy. Don't try and force it to lie straight or anything. We'll lose some of the beauty.
Okay.
Okay. So I've got them all doubled over. So what I'm going to do now is pop a jump ring in where they all bend over together. Okay. So I take those, and I've just made some jump rings out of our wrong size, out of the 0.8 wire. No, where is it? Which one do we have? 0.8 wire that we had in the bundle. So just get those together, double them over, pinch them, and then we'll take some jump rings. Because it's a 0.8 wire, I use 2 jump rings just for a bit of extra stability. So we'll put 2 in there. If you've got jump rings ready at home, already in your stash, then use those, but you can make your own with this bundle. Okay, so they're in together, and then we're going to really pinch those wires so that they're all laying down. Now, I'm going to use my board just to tame them, tuck the wires underneath. So get those together like so. And you can see where the wire is coiled round. I don't know if you can see that they're all sort of coiled in the same direction, so the angle is all the same direction. You see that? They're all running a diagonal like that.
Yeah, I've got that.
Which makes it so easy to bind them together, because all you do is follow. All you do is follow that direction round like a helter-skelter.
If you do want to get your hands on some jump rings, I have some textured ones coming up in a bundle.
Oh, brilliant.
Minute.
Brilliant. Some nice jump rings to go with this would be great. Nice strong ones. Okay, so what I'm going to do is attach in some of this 0.4 of the navy wire. Now you get a totally different effect if you wrap this with navy than you do if you wrap it with the gold, and you can see that in some of the pieces, the difference in look. So I'm going to take my 0.4 wire, I threaded it in wrong, and I want to make sure that it's running, that I'm wrapping in the same direction so that it runs along that helter-skelter. Okay, so just anchoring this bit in for a minute. So let's just tie that in there. So I want to make sure that this wire runs along those lines. Now I'm doing this upside down, so I can't actually see where it's going. So I'm going to try and do it in the camera. And as I pull it round, you can see how it just sits in those grooves, and almost you lose the wire because...
Totally do.
Now if I did this in the gold, what you'd get is you would lose the blue because it wraps with it in between, so you actually lose some of the blue. And I did that at first and thought, yeah, I'm actually losing some of the beauty of the wire by covering up the blue. So using the navy wire helps you keep the look, but bind them together. So I'm going to do that really quickly. I want to bind that all the way down to sort of just around the collarbone.
Whilst you're binding those, and I'm really quickly going to bring you in the jump rings because I'm last chance saloon on that kit now. Well done to everyone who did get it. Really quickly, I'm going to bring you a selection of jump rings. You might already have gold jump rings, which will go great with this wire, but you do not forget are getting that blue and silver wire in this collection as well. And these would go perfectly.
Yeah.
You were saying you'd need big sturdy ones for this, wouldn't you?
Yes, you would. You want nice strong.
Nice strong jump rings.
Perfect.
And I tell you what these are, and it's diamond wire.
Those. I like those.
They're really nice, aren't
I've
they?
seen those before.
No, I haven't actually either before today. These, ladies and gentlemen, are that beautiful textured diamond wire open jump rings that you have here. Really pretty indeed. Big amount of these as well. Quantity wise on the jump rings, we've got just over 100. Wow, really? Just over 100 jump rings. That's a mammoth. Oh, no, he says. Oh, no. 50 jump rings. I said, really? Tabby goes, yeah. Oh, no, sorry, no. Oh, but we do have over 100 opportunities, which is great to know. Big amount of those beautiful silver textured jump rings. Very pretty indeed. And I'm going to add gemstones to it as well. And I've got to say that because of the silver and blue wire, I think these gems would go great. Because you're keeping that delicate nature. You know how the blue kind of twists over that white silver wire? You've almost got that with the gemstones. If you were to twist this around this, it's almost quite reminiscent of it. 2 strands here of your agate, really beautiful, delicate, almost micro-faceted blue agate you've got there. 2 mil rounds that have been faceted to perfection. Such an amazing amount of work goes into those. And then your white agate there as well. 4 mil rounds, beautiful, pure, soft, pure rounds on those ones. Giving you a lot of movement, giving you a lot of center point to glow, if that makes sense, because you've got all of that surface area, because they are slightly larger, but you still get that beautiful white hue. It always gives you a a glow. You can see it on that recording that's going around, how you get that stunning look, and that, doesn't that just look glowing? Looks kind of mystically ethereal. Almost got a touch of the moonstone on it, hasn't it? And I tell you what, if you love your moonstone, deal of the day, don't forget, coming up for you very soon. We're going to do you a super smashing great price point on this, okay? Both strands and all of those textured jump rings. We're rolling it down. We are going to roll this down, ladies and gentlemen. I told you we've got a decent quantity, and I meant it. We've got just over 100. Both strands. And all of those jump rings at £9.95. Usually, I wouldn't be able to do a micro-faceted gemstone strand at that price at all by itself. But we've got the really delicate blue agate, and you're pairing that with the white agate. I would be happy as peas to be able to bring you just those 2 strands at that price point. Working out £4.90 something each if I brought them to you at that. But then I'm also bringing you that massive amount of textured jump rings. If you're a chain mailer, boy oh boy, you're going to get some good fun out of those. And also using them with this technique that Gemma's showing you. If you want to do this design in the alternate colour with the wire, it matches perfectly. In particular, as the texture on those jump rings is very reminiscent of that twist corkscrew texture of the wire. We have got to be quick on this, because although I do have 100, the amount of multi-buyers who weren't expecting that price point but got it anyway because it's such a great deal is exceptional. It's through the roof. So as soon as you can get it in your baskets and check out. We've already had many different sellouts today, and I don't don't want you to miss out on yet another piece. So get it whilst you can. All of that, £9.95. Serious.
It's fantastic.
Seriously fantastic.
I think those in between the pearls, these jump rings.
These jump rings. Oh my goodness, in between the pearls.
Would look just brilliant.
Don't forget we brought you these pearls earlier on, pretty sure they sold out.
Put them in back.
There might be like 8 left, we're saying, but yes, I love that idea, Gem.
I think they look lovely.
Like little crowns, like little crowning glories.
Yeah. They're the perfect size. They got that lovely lustre. They're not too sparkly. Look at
no,
that.
Obviously that's not closed jump ring, but
that
yes,
so
I
expensive.
love that. That looks like I would have to save up for months to own something like that.
Yeah, they look really expensive.
Astonishing, amazing. Well done everyone who's treating yourself to this, and don't forget, a handful of the kits left currently at the bottom of your screen. Okay,
right.
I'm with you again.
Are we back? Right, so what I've done is I've wrapped just like I showed you, all 6 wires together for 5 inches, and then I've separated them out into 3 lots of 2. The centre 2 I've continued to wrap with the blue wire, so I'm just doing that down now, and that's I'm going to do that for, how long have I done it for on this one? So as long as you do both the same, we'll be okay. So I've done that one for 8 inches. See how springy it is. Okay, so you just continue wrapping that down, and then we'll incorporate. This one will then become the stem for our sort of half flowers. So what we've got is one central whole flower, and then either side we've sort of got a half flower, or a flower from the side then, or a budding flower. Okay, so just continue with that. Well, in fact, I'll leave that one for a minute, put this to the side, come back to the one that I made earlier. Now, it would be very handy, and this is a tip for you, very handy to have macrame board with pins or various strings and things that you can sit this underneath. So I've just popped a piece of wire across the corner of my macrame board here, and I'm just going to tuck these wires out of the way. The macrame board will hold them, but it's like I said before, I don't really want to manipulate them too much, so I don't really want to take the spring out of the wires, because I actually need that. So pop this over to the side, so get them out of the way, and then we've got these to work on. And what I'm going to do is make a half flower, and it's going to attach into here. So we'll put all that out of the way for a minute. So here I've got some ready.
Don't forget, you've got those 2 double strands of your chalcedony, and you've got the lapis lazuli, which we're getting out now. So nice. Gemma, this is sensational.
Thank
I
you.
Absolutely agree. Says Michelle, there's loads of messages coming in. Someone was asking previously, we can't find the text now, the piece we're making, price point wise, if that was a commission piece, what are we looking at?
Oh, ish. 50-ish, £60. Maybe we'll go up a bit more on the goldy one, because that's a bit more edgy.
Yeah.
So I think the weirder it is, the more money you can ask for.
I agree. Because you think more art galleries, you think more unique individual pieces, you think about different places you're selling. Just phenomenal. Okey-pokey, what are we getting into now? We're going to make the loops for these.
So we're going to make these flowers, and to make the flowers I've used these lovely lapis gems, and I've got them made an eye pin that they thread onto. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I've got just a length of wire. This is great where you keep all your little scraps of wire, because you can use all these to do your little eye pins. So make sure you've got a clean cut at one end, and then I'm going to use my baling pliers, but you can use round nose pliers, just to make a little loop at one end of your wire and twist it back so that you've got a lollipop sort of shape, like so. And then I'm going to pop my gemstone, thread my gemstone onto it, and this is the 0.8 wire that comes in the kit again. Hold it tight, and then bend the wire at the other end. So we've got the loop this end, the wire bent this end, and we're going to use round nose pliers or your JewelleryMakers again, just to turn that loop into a circle. Okay. And I had that the perfect size, and that is just practice. Okay, but don't worry if it's not the perfect size. You just always make it a bit bigger, roll it round, and if it doubles over, if it protrudes slightly from the other end, just trim that off. Okay.
Yeah.
That is just practice. So I've got 3 now, and that's going to form, when we push these together, that's going to form that lovely shape of a half flower, very William Morris style. Then I need something to connect to link these into. So I've made like a D ring. Okay, so it's like a jump ring, but it's squished. So I'll show you how to do that. You take, again, your 0.8 wire, and I'm going to make, I think this makes a 6 mil jump ring. Outer diameter, yeah. So I'm going to just turn 2 whole loops on my pliers, like so, and trim it off so that their ends are at the same point. So it's a bit like a key ring, you know, like a split ring. Okay, so it's a round. I take my flat nose pliers, and I mean, this is, you might not need to do this. This is just attention to detail to get things sitting straight. So take my flat nose pliers, and where the 2 wires sort of are at the one edge of that jump ring, so both wires together there, line across. I put my flat nose pliers in so that those 2 wires are inside the jaws of the pliers, and then I'm just going to take it up as far as I can and then bite down nice and firmly to round it off, and that makes me a D-shaped ring. Okay,
clever. Okay,
all
I've seen that before.
So that's, I'm put that to the side because I've got one ready. Then we're going to take this D ring, is going to attach onto the stem of this one. Okay, so I'm going to take the wires, leave all these tails through this jump ring, this D ring, and the flat edge is going to be where I want to get the wires to come back on themselves. So you can see laying that flat edge there, and then I'm going to pinch the wire back on itself like so. So I've got the rounded edge sticking out. Okay. Now you might think that this is overkill in terms of detail, but I find that when I put a circular ring in there, my petals didn't form as well as if I flattened the edge. So you might find you don't need to go to that length, but
it's a great tip. Why don't you try it out both ways? See for yourself.
Yeah, that's
but a great tip, because I would never even thought about that, Jem.
It just helps it all sit nicely. Right.
And this is why she's the guest designer.
Just going to make a bit more room for it. So hold it, bring it nice and pinch it nice and tight there. Now you're not going to really see it, so if it's a bit scruffy, it goes out of shape, don't worry. Just that flat edge helps it stay put. It's not going to waggle around. So to secure that, you've still got that little tail of 0.4 wire, so I'm just going to use that to bind it around to keep it in place for a minute. Okay. Then the little loops, you're going to open them up and you're going to put all 3 onto this D ring. So I'll do that quickly now.
Absolutely.
So these go 1. You're obviously all concentrating, it's really quiet.
Yeah, do you know what? We really are. We're just talking about how it's quite mesmerising, this demonstration. Now, I've got the opportunity for you to get your hands on some more lapis lazuli, which would go great with these designs, I think, if I just hold them. I'm going to hold it alongside this one here, just to give you an idea of how great it works with this, purely because I haven't got any of the kit left. Essentially, I've got 1 or 2 left, and I haven't got any of the thing we did previous to that left either. So we sold out of everything, so I need to bring some on screen, because otherwise we get told off if the graphics aren't on for a long time. People who kind of look after our channel for us think something's gone wrong with us and we've broken down and the graphics are gone, so we'd have to put something up on your screen. Really quickly going to interrupt with this lapis lazuli, which of course will go sensationally with the ones you're working with now.
Yes, absolutely. I'm thinking about putting, I'm tangling myself, putting these little ones on the end of the design with the waggly bits, and having that on the side and giving it a different colourway.
So these big ones here going at the side,
you need something weighty to balance all those strands, so that works.
To balance it out, these at the side, and then those ones going, the small ones you've got at the bottom. I love how it's going with the blue and the gold. Blue and gold like this, obviously it's naturally inherent within the gemstone because you get all those tiny metallic, submetallic platelets, but also love the fact that it goes with the silver and blue wire perfectly as well. So it's just mix and match and match. Your price point today, ladies and gents, on these mammoth pieces, well, I didn't see that coming. $7.95.
Really?
Look how huge they are.
Something to carry away.
Mammoth, 320 carats. There are 20 by 15 mil, and I've got to say, quality-wise, you've got an epic quality here because look at the speckling in it. Look at those platelets. Yeah, they're really evenly dispersed. They're not just in one area and tiny little spot of them. They're really nicely starry night, kind of evenly dispersed. Great price point on those. $7.95. Great addition to the kit. Get them whilst you can. Okay, so I've given you time to add on those beautiful pieces.
So I've got them in place. I'm just holding on to them for a minute. And what I'm doing now is what I've done in the original design and what I want to achieve again, if I was making this again, would be, just take these out of the way, would be to taper this from this is very nice narrow vine-like stem. Yeah. But I want it to sort of taper out so it becomes bigger towards the head of the flower. So those tails that I doubled back, do you remember? Yeah. I'm just using the one to wrap up along the stem. So again, choose which direction you wrap in so that you're going in the same direction as the spirals. And that sounds complicated, but when you got it, it really is quite intuitive to do that. Okay, so that's that one wrapped into there. And then if I take the other one and wrap it on top of there, I'm going to get a slightly, it's going to be bigger, obviously. So I'm going to wrap up a little up here and then bring it back down, starting to build that sort of more bulbous area at the top. And then also bringing it down like so. Now, at the moment, we're just trying to get bulk on. We can refine that after. With our finer gauge. So that's just that. So you can already see it starting to taper out, yeah? So then we hold on to this, and what now I want to do is make sure that these flowers are a bit floppy, there's no structure in there. So we're going to bind those together so that they fan out and also create a nice decorative finish. We use the finer of the wire. I think this is a 4mm wrapped around a 4mm, or even a 3mm wrapped around a 3mm. It's very fine. So the gauge is 28 on 28, so I'm thinking that's a 4.
About 4mm, isn't it? Yeah.
I'm thinking it's a 4mm with a 4mm wrapped around it. Okay, so actually I don't need to cut it from the reel yet. I can use it straight from the reel.
It helps you save your wire.
It does. But I want a nice long length to work with, and I'm going to build almost like a web-like pattern onto the leaves. So and we can get rid of this tail now, I think. Let's chop it off. I don't think I need it. So make sure it's tied in nicely and chop it off. So now I'm going to take this piece here and try not to tangle it like me. Now this is a bit more tame than the thicker gauge, and it works really easily. So I'm going to just bind that in at the fattest point of the stem there, just to give it me an anchor point. And then all I'm going to do is come around each flower very loosely at first. Just go all the way around the bottom of that jump ring that you've made, or the eye ring that you've made, eye loop. Just go around it once, then to the next one, and around that one once, then to the next one, and around that one once. Okay, so already they're starting to behave themselves a bit more. So then all we're going to do is go in and out in between the gemstones. Okay? Like that, and we're going to do that and just build it up as we go. So what we're going to do is this is going to then sit up onto the petals. So as we come up, we're going to allow it to sit on. We're not pulling it too tight because we don't want to pucker them, we just want to keep them splayed. So you come over the one, under the next, over the next, and back. And because there's an odd number, when you come back on yourself, you manage to go on the one that you missed the first time round. So under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, and keep going until you've got it how you would like it. So as soon as it's secure, so those flowers, those leaves now are now very securely wrapped together. They're not going to move out of shape. So now it's by eye. It's just whether you're happy with them like that. You can keep going if you want. But I'm happy with it to be there. You just see how lovely that looks. That looks like each one has been bezel set there. So then we bring this wire back down the back, so you can decide which is the back about now. And we're going to just now start building the sort of head of the stem. So right there. So we're just going to keep wrapping that round to really build up the weight, the look of the weight of it there. Just keep going until you're happy. And these ends are easy to tuck away because the wire is coiled. It's easy to hide ends. So just making sure that your ends actually are pinched, tucked in. You won't see where the one ends and one begins, but just you might feel it, so just make sure that they're tucked in. And then I've still got this one on the reel, so this is where I can then use this wire to really make that shape what I want. So I'm just going to graduate that down, keep wrapping.
It's elements like that that take it to another level of creativity and design, I think. They're kind of really subtly graduating it down.
Subtle graduation, yeah. I mean, I like it. It makes sense to my brain for it to...
Yeah, the fluidity and the movement, I'm the same.
Yeah, and I don't think we're unusual. I think everybody has got that natural... drawn naturally to symmetry and to centre points.
Yes,
and so, you know, helping your eye do what it wants to do anyway is always pleasing. So we can keep going. And you can build that up as much as you want. Right, there we go. I've done now. So that's me done for that one. So I just again cut this wire off and tuck it in. So I'll tuck later. So this is now one side of our necklace. And we want to bring our centre flower in. So I've made a centre flower in exactly the same way as I did that one. So if you watch that demonstration, you'll know how to create this one. So all I've got here is jump ring in the centre, again made from the 0.8mm wire, and 6 gemstones on double-sided eye pins, and then they sit like that, and then we attach these together with some jump rings. So I'll just quickly do that.
Whilst you're attaching those on, I'm going to be really annoying and steal that for a minute.
Well, I can't attach them on then, can I?
Yeah, no, you can't. but a minute maximum.
Okay.
I just wanted to really quickly show you that. How could I attach that on? Because I want that, I love that, I feel like that is something a celebrity would wear.
Yes, that works nicely, doesn't it?
Really does.
Well, if I was putting it on like that, I probably would use eye pins instead of the head pins.
Yeah, head pins, to have little
head
balls
pins
on
instead
the
of eye
end,
pins.
yeah.
And I'd probably glue it, to be honest, or punch a hole and wire it through.
Great idea. I love that.
Yeah.
I'll let you attach now.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jan. I've got for you really quickly because, again, kit-wise, we've got like 5 left once everyone checks out, but no one's kind of checking out. So we're going, okay, well, it's still here, but it's not. But be careful because it's not still there. So if you do want it, do check it out. But people are kind of pulling their feet on it and are dragging their feet on it a little bit. So feel free to call in and snap that out of their baskets. Really quickly, I've got for you here this gold-plated brass collar. This is just phenomenal to work with. And these are going to be so perfect to work with, whether you're into your wire work or whether you like your polymer clay. These have been worked with polymer clay, numerous guest designers, and by numerous creatives to work this with so many different mediums. I mean, look at that, adding texture. This is obviously a bronze example, but it gives you an idea of what you can do with this. You can work this with the likes of your resins as well, and you know, this is a piece by gorgeous Fiona Potter. There's so much you can do with this, there really is. Use it as a base, wear it as it is, headband, necklace. You can use it as you know, textures, hammering it out, flattening it out, adding your own words and sentiments. A great price on this one for you today. Get it whilst you can, because it's just £9.95. And obviously, I always think when you're looking at gold and blue together, I always think Cleopatra. Yeah. I always think royalty. I always think pharaohs, ancient Egyptians, and things like this.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
Perfect pairing.
Yeah.
£9.95 on this one for you today. Very much in vogue at the moment. Well done. Okay, I'm with you. You've attached the flowers, Jan.
I have attached the flowers, right. But I've only got one side done. So, but next bit I can show you without the other side in, I think. So all we do now is you can see how springy these are and how lovely, what a lovely movement they've got. So even just like that, so do you ever do it when you put your hair up with your hand? You think, oh, wish I could hold it like that.
Yes, and then you go and put a bobble in it.
Yeah, and it doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's like that with this wire. So, you know, I just played with it, you know, played with the shapes and how it worked. And then I've got these loops in the flowers and these jump rings here that I've got on the ends. We just turn them all round actually, because all the ends I turned so that they were like this, so that they were sort of from the front, you don't see the round, and that gave me the opportunity to thread the wires through them. So because they've got that spring, if I take this one for example, I'm just going to hold this. Pins would be really useful if you're working with doing this. Have some pins for your macrame board. So let's just for example take this wire through this ring here on the flower, and we put it through there and maybe through the next one as well. That you can see once you've done the two sides, you'll see how this works. So it really quickly comes together. So I'm just going to pop it through the two, put it through, and you can see how that makes just a lovely shape. And I'll bring that back up round to here maybe, and just sit it there and think, right, that's nice. And I might take this one and thread it through the top one, bring it back down, or it might then go through the flower on the other side. And everything you do on one side, you do the other. And then basically where everything crosses, you just wrap it in. So if I just secure that one there for a minute, where that crosses, and because the wire has got that wrapping around it, it ties together really easy. It won't slip. You know, if you've ever made lots of like Alison Tarry's beautiful designs with the S shapes, she makes all these little S's and then joins them together, but they'll slip around in the process. These won't slip because the wire digs into the coils that are wrapped around, so that's not going anywhere. So that's held that in place for me. So then, you know, you just keep going. So if I bring this one, they cross there, that makes a lovely shape. Mm-hmm. So now I bind there, and really you just keep going. And I would never be able to make that one again in exactly the same way.
Which is what makes it unique and bespoke.
But can we bring it over quickly?
Yes, absolutely. Let me grab it.
Just so I can show you.
Sorry.
There we go. Nope, wrong one.
Sorry.
You can say ever so much attention.
No, sorry, I was distracting then. Or distracting myself.
Right. Let me just tuck this one away so that it's not going to spring up all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Can you see on my board, actually? What have you done?
Nothing. I just left my crown there.
If we can just have a look back at my board quickly before we go on to there.
Yeah.
You can see I've just brought one wire around and tucked it in, and it's made that gorgeous shape. And that's what's so lovely about it. So then you can tie it here and here, and that's held, that's into position. So it will evolve. So I'm going to take this one off now and bring my other one down onto the board very quickly, because I know we've spent a lot of time on this demonstration. But if we can see here, you can see I've got my two flowers, and then these wires have literally been threaded in these jump rings to use as hinge, and everywhere I've finished I've just coiled it around, and it's surprising how you can just form it into this quite symmetrical pattern.
Just phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't that phenomenal, ladies and gents? Don't you think? I've just got to say to you as well that I'll be honest, I just did that because I really liked it as a pairing.
Yeah, it does look nice together.
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, even like if it was a backdrop even.
Yeah.
So we pull it up onto...
Oh, yeah.
You know, just as a backdrop to it. The cameras and everything in here and all the reflection doesn't...
It almost
detracts a little bit,
yeah,
doesn't it? But it does work.
That's beautiful. Jem, thank you so much for showing us that.
You're welcome.
I think it's astonishing, I really do. I'm bringing you this colour right here, right now, because I'm just really quickly giving you the opportunity to have a little look at this. Let me pop it on for you just to give you an idea. I know that you've worked with these before, and I wanted to ask you your kind of inspiration with these, really. Because you've worked with these a lot,
I've
done a couple of shows with you using these before,
Yeah.
and there's something that I know you've used in different ways. You've used it with different medium. What do you like about these?
I love how they sit. I love how
Sit
solid they
beautifully.
are.
Yeah.
I do like solid pieces of jewellery. I know the ones I've shown today are quite open,
yeah.
but I actually like quite a solid jewellery. So this is perfect for me. I can work on top of it. I can dangle things off it. I can glue things onto it. I can cut it up and make it into parts.
Yes, I've seen you do that before. And this is the one that comes with the extra chain as well. We've done a naughty price on this, you know. Don't get to see it by itself generally. It's £5.95, which for a very much high fashion look is an astonishing deal. Lots of you treating yourself to these today. It really is £5.95. Gemma, you've given us so much inspiration today.
Yeah.
You've given us so many beautiful techniques and pieces. We've got 2 minutes. Final kind of tip, let's say. Have you got any tips for this? Have you got any other ideas maybe you didn't get to try out?